Hey now, we are live. We are, yeah. You hear Elise in the background. Yay!
Yay!
You sound like Gabby
Yay!
J from Super Punch
Yeah.
Out. He comes out, yay! You ever play Super Punch Out, Elise?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No.
it was a fun game. The
It's a
first,
fun one. You get to punch people in the face.
yeah, and other body parts. The
Yeah.
first fighter that you come across is this old guy named Gabby J, and he just comes out and sort of like weakly puts his fist up and goes, yay!
Nice.
Yeah.
I think his record is 1-99.
Yeah, and apparently the one that he beat was Glass Joe, so.
Oh no.
Oh.
Hey, Mogul.
Hey, Moogle in
Oh,
chat.
man.
God,
Remember-
it's been so long I forgot to open up the chat.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, make sure you have the stream up.
I'm getting there. There's my
And you
okay,
could
there's my
see,
chat.
I now have this green screen shit figured out.
Hey,
doesn't-
all right.
Doesn't look like shit anymore. I found out that
hey.
the problem was that apparently Streamlabs is really bad at the settings for what do you call it? White correction.
white balance.
White balance.
kind of
That's what it is.
stuff.
So you want to make Windows take control of it instead.
Oh.
And so once I figured out that, it's fine. Sometimes I'll like log in, especially if I've rebooted or something, and it'll look all fuzzy and weird around me. And all I'll do is go into the Windows setting for my webcam and just click on the white balance slider. I don't have to move it, but just clicking on it makes Windows take control of it, and it immediately fixes.
Nice.
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 Yeah, look at you. Look at all green
Hey.
screens. Nice job.
Well, you want to see
Part
some?
of the environment.
Wait, you want to see something really cool?
Yes.
Hold on. Let me go. Check this out. I mean, for this to not look like shit, I have to take off the headphones, but
Whoa.
Whoa!
I'm in the Misty Mountains there. That was the background that I used for the Tolkien video that'll be available next Wednesday.
Very nice.
Available now if you're a member of the channel, but Yeah.
Now.
but yeah. So list critics, y'all. I've been looking forward to this. A little bit of color in our dull gray lives.
What we need.
Nobody got the joke. Damn.
A little bit of color in our dull gray lives. Yeah, well,
That
when you're speaking the truth.
Yeah, it's a line from Spinal Tap.
Oh, well, it's
Oh
been,
my god, that went right over my head.
We were just
It's been-
bringing
it's
a
been a
bit of
minute.
color into their dull gray lives.
been a minute since I've seen that flick.
I probably watch it like once or twice a year at this point. It's such a classic.
Aren't they making a sequel?
Yep, they are.
A squeakquel?
A squeak. They're not making a squeakquel, no. That has been attempted once in our history, and I would say that it led to all the troubles we're having now.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, people are like, when did it all go wrong? Was it when Harambe was shot? No, I say it's Alvin and the Chipmunks, the squeakquel.
Live
That's where
action
it, yeah.
Alvin and the Chipmunks
Yeah,
movie.
that's where it all went wrong. Not the fact that they made a live action Alvin and the Chipmunks movie, but that they decided to make a second one and call it the Squeakquel.
And then it just got chipwrecked from there.
Yeah. Chipwrecked. Good.
That
That's
was the third one.
That was the third one, I know. It just describes the state of our lives.
Our dull gray lives.
Oh, dull gray lives, yes. I quote Spinal Tap all the time, and not everybody like gets it.
Mm.
But sometimes I'll quote a movie, and people be like, "Oh, you're quoting AVGN," and I'm like, "No, he's just quoting
No,
the same
he's
movie
quoting
I
a
am."
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one that I remember, like, as I say, "We got this, man. We got this by the ass," and people are like, "Oh, that's from AVGN," and I'm like, "No, it's from Dawn of the Dead,
Yeah.
a movie we were just talking about right before we went live."
Mm-hmm.
Got this, man. Got this by the ass.
But yes.
Oh, oof. Well, we're gonna get started. So we're not gonna play the intro. We're gonna come right over here to the List Critics Remastered. And yo, Moogle with the watch streak. Moogle's watch streak broke at one point, but he's up to 70 now. So
Wow.
I remember one time he shared it. It was at 90. And I was like, damn, I've never seen a watch streak that high, Moogle. And then there's this one dude I'm not going to say the name because I don't call out lurkers, but he's always in the chat. He's in there right now, and he shared his watch streak, and it was over like 300.
Good for you.
Damn, I
It's just
respect
like,
that.
damn. Holy
I got
shit.
a lot of love for lurkers. Like, hell yeah, lurkers.
Hey, I'm on the Twitch Reddit, and people are like, man, I've got like 20 viewers, and nobody's talking. What am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. Most of Twitch is lurkers. Just respect the lurkers.
People just want to chill with you, man.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Sometimes people are just vibing,
Or, they're like doing the dishes or cleaning the house and they just want to have you on in the
Or
background.
they might be watching on a phone or something, and it's a pain in the ass to use the chat, or they could be watching on their
don't
TV.
want to say anything.
Well, like I said, they could be just vibing, or they could be watching on a TV for all you know. I remember one time, somebody was lurking who was kind of a little bit famous in a certain industry that's about entertaining people who are adults.
Okay.
And this person was in my stream lurking, and then one of my asshole mods, not that any of my mods right now are assholes,
Previous asshole.
a previous asshole decided to be like, yo, this person's lurking in your stream, and they put their name out there, and everything. I'm like, so what?
Oh,
Why the fuck?
Just
No,
shut
it's not Tanya Moogle. It was Dumbass. But she also do be whack. It was Dumbass. She's like, I'm concerned. There's a porn star watching you, and I'm like,
okay,
are
cool.
porn
Thanks.
stars not allowed to watch people play video games?
Porn stars are still people.
She
cares,
never came back. You just scared someone off who was just chilling and watching me play like whatever the fuck. I don't even remember what it was.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what if that mod was in some other chat and then they got called out?
Oh, well, this person could never be somewhere and not be the center of attention.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Let's be real.
Yeah, that's very true.
Let's be real about this.
Well, I mean, like, look, we've had that person on List Critics before. Oh, then again, okay. Then again, I was going to say we've had that person on List Critics, and but then again, we had them on at the same time that Noun was on.
Oh, God! Why would you do that to yourself? I'm sorry.
I didn't know.
Unstoppable,
I didn't know that.
unbelievable object.
So it's like there's two people who both have to be the center of attention. Noun was worse about it. She wasn't a worse person, but she was worse about that specific thing. Like if she was going to talk, nobody else was allowed to talk during that time period. And you had to know when she was going to talk.
This is my time.
Because if you talked and she thought, well, I was about to talk, she would get really fucking angry.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
If you just said something and she's like, but I was planning on saying something. I was like, well, just say it then. Like,
I was saying something once.
Do
something.
Oh my God. This is why I'm like in the 16 years I've been doing this show, the constant has been Jesse. You know what I mean?
Here and there.
Oh, there was a little period where you weren't, but you've been there more than anybody else.
I'm Remastered.
And when we started Remastered, we started off with, let's just have a different person every time and see where it goes. And when we had Elise, and I'm not afraid to tell you this, Elise, we couldn't stop talking about how good you were.
Yeah.
And I said if there was anybody that I would want to have as the permanent third person, it would absolutely be Elise. And that's why I asked you. And it's cool because sometimes if you're not available, we could still do the show. And one time Jesse wasn't. Well, twice I think Jesse wasn't available, and I did the show just with Elise. And sometimes we will invite somebody else on. We've had Alice or Wayne randomly, but Yeah. Anyway, guys, I get to say this for the first time in who knows how long. But we're gonna start as we always do with Tumblr Gets Deep.
Yeah.
Real.
Because it's back, baby. I mean, it was there, but it was called something else. But they're back to calling it Tumblr Gets Deep. So we have 30 of Tumblr Gets Deep. So we're going to start here. Tumblr Gets Stoned. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Okay. So this starts with somebody named Kurt who writes, I forget the man's name, but I once read the account of a 17th century Neapolitan nobleman who had fought more than 20 duels and killed 14 people over the matter of who was the greatest Italian poet, Dante or Ariosto. Seeking salvation on his deathbed, the duelist admitted he had never read the poetry of either man. Okay, wait a minute. Before I continue, because there's some replies, isn't that like just basically the comment section?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is kind
Old-timey
of just
comment.
like ye oldie comment section.
I was writing an article about Saruman, and I said that Saruman was the comment section as well, in the way that anytime something didn't go his way, he would just fly into a rage and start hurling, very petty, childish insults, So then Segretico says, I want to fuck this man so bad it makes me look stupid.
Oh my god.
And then Total Spiffage says, Twitter, but with a body count. I mean, yeah. It's like, it's Twitter, but people die. All right, number 2.
14.
Everagel, I think, says, I remember in my Arabic class we were going over the alphabet and the teacher was like, there is no P, etc. And this white girl was like, wait, but my name's Paige. And my teacher was like, lol, then we pronounced it as beige. And she was so offended, I'm crying thinking about it.
Right.
And then Dotted 16 says, one of my mom's friend Hugh went to France and they had a lot of trouble pronouncing his name because the entire thing was silent.
Oh no.
The hue is silent.
That reminds me, when I was in the 7th grade, we had this teacher, and her name was really... I'm going to type it in the chat. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay.
Whoa.
That second one is the right one.
Oh.
So we saw it on our schedules, and we were like, how do you say that? Like, what, and I remember saying maybe most of the letters are silent and it's just, It turned out it was Tujog, which is very easy to say. It's just not so easy to spell. Tujog.
I was going to guess Tagagwe.
What?
Yeah.
Do you know what the ethnicity or the where are they from? Like what is that?
I didn't know at the time, but if I Google the name, maybe I could find out. It's telling me Canada.
Oh,
It's telling me it's a Canadian name.
huh.
Chugaj?
Tujog is the way that she's...
Tujog.
Tujog, yeah. Okay, well, anyway. Number 3, programmatically delicious. That's the worst cereal I ever heard of. Says, maybe he's ordering a decaf because he has a heart condition and you're about to give him a heart attack and send him to the hospital. Or maybe he's just ordering a decaf. Maybe she's ordering sugar-free because she's diabetic and you're about to put her 6 feet under. Or maybe she's just ordering sugar-free. Maybe they're ordering non-dairy because they're intolerant and you're about to ruin their day. Maybe they're allergic and you're about to sponsor an all-black event in an open field. Or maybe they're just ordering non-dairy. Maybe they ordered gluten-free because they can't process it and you're about to destroy their digestive tract. Or maybe they're just ordering gluten-free. Maybe they're ordering this way because they don't want the food for whatever reason, but are you willing to bet their life on it? I feel like I'm coming in the middle of a movie here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is somebody upset?
Well, there are some people who'd be like, this asshole asked for decaf, but I didn't give it to him, So anyway...
Well, I can... So this is something that happens with my sister. My sister is allergic to aspartame.
Oh, dear.
And because my sister is a larger person, many people try to give her diet soda instead of full sugar.
Oh.
And
which is a dick move to begin with, even if she wasn't.
It's a dick move to begin with.
Yeah.
Because they think they know better. And she can always tell because as soon as she takes like the slightest taste, her throat starts to close up.
Oh, God.
Now, it's thankfully, as far as I can tell, it's not bad enough that she needs an EpiPen at the moment.
Ew.
But it is something that she will call out because she has an allergy. But
maybe
people think they know better.
I don't know if you could pass this along, but like if this is a thing that happens a lot, diet sodas tend to give off a pretty distinctive smell.
Mm-hmm.
So she might just give it a little
Yeah,
sticky sniff.
she can tell based on the scent at this
Yeah.
point.
Oh, okay.
But
Good.
it's usually, again, knock on wood. We haven't really had much of an issue with that in
Yeah.
recent years, but like in the past, it has happened
Yeah.
more, not a non-zero amount.
Okay, so there are replies here. Desolator the Dragon says, also, please remember that some people with sensitivities may get sick hours to days later. Just because they don't have an immediate reaction doesn't mean they're exaggerating or lying. Whether illness or personal preference, just make their dang food the way they ask. And then Politic and HP says, who is this post for? Are food or coffee shop employees regularly sneaking sugar and caffeinated coffee out to their customers? Is this a thing that's happening? And then Fairy Tale Pseudonym says, a while back there was a post on an anonymous confessions about a person who said whenever she sees a thin woman ordering a diet soda, she just gives them a regular because they don't need to be dieting. And Beanie Banini says, every coffee shop I have ever worked in had at least one barista who would regularly change orders without the customer's knowledge or permission for reasons like, she doesn't need to be dieting, non-dairy milk is hard to steam and drinking soy is a fad anyway, life is short, eat the damn cheese, bitch, it won't kill you, and I'd like to go open another bag of the gluten-free and I don't want to walk all the way to the back room to get it. At least once, I caught in maybe 3 seconds from disaster someone with a life-threatening dairy allergy had ordered a soy latte. She then told me at the register that it was a deadly allergy. I even wrote on the cup, allergy, no dairy. I caught the barista in question rolling her eyes and saying under her breath, skinny bitches and their fake allergies trying to get shit for free. This particular coffee shop had a policy where a dairy allergy meant you didn't pay the extra fee for non-dairy milk. I saw the barista rinsing the dairy pitcher, but put 2 plus 2 together and yelled out to the customer to stop her. She hadn't started drinking yet, but she did lick the drips on the lid. She still needed her EpiPen and to go to the hospital. Suffice to say that the barista was fired on the spot, but there are many more people like that, far too many. Make the fruit or drinks people order the way they fucking order them. Even if she had just been trying to save the 50 cents, so what?
Yeah.
Don't bet people's lives on your decisions. I agree fully.
Or even if it isn't an allergy thing, maybe they just like the taste of it that way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You
It's
think
not hurting
them
anybody
better
to make something that they want.
So I have an aunt that has celiac, and I referred to her in a I'm going to say the word is escaping me here, so maybe I shouldn't even make the joke because I can't think of the word. I will say a non-loving way as the gluten-free aunt because she's a pain in the fucking ass, you know. Well, anyway, if you have celiac, you're not supposed to. Oh, hey, Wayne. If you have celiac, you're not supposed to have gluten, or you're just you're not gonna die or nothing, but you will have a bad time. So, because she's also a bit of a hypochondriac, everything's so dramatic. So I guess she went out to this restaurant and she ordered everything, gluten free, and I guess a mistake had been made, and there was accidentally some gluten, and they came rushing in to tell her. And you know what she did? She went into the bathroom and made herself throw up.
Ooh.
Oh.
Then it turned out that in fact no mistake had been made.
Oh, well,
yeah.
The mistake was the mistake.
Yeah, at least they told her though. But that's how dramatic she. I remember I told her once because I remember she gets worse and worse every year. When she first was diagnosed, it was like, yeah, I can't have bread. That sucks, And then over time, it just became she just became more and more weird and paranoid about it, and it was like all she fucking talked about. It was her entire personality. So I remember, like, I told her, like, we know. At one point, I snapped, and I was like, we know about the gluten. It's been like 7 years. We're used to it. We are aware. And then I snapped at her again one year because I made a quiche, and she started asking me what's in it, and I said, don't worry, it's gluten free. And she's like, but what's in it? And I'm like, I'm not getting into all that right now. It's gluten free.
Yeah.
How do you know that? Because I fucking made it.
Like, you can eat it. It's safe.
Because I made it. You know what I mean? I made the quiche, so I know it's gluten free. But anyway, it got so bad that she sometimes brings her own food, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And she used to be okay with like letting other people taste the food that she brings, but she got really weird about it one year where she had these cookies. They're like gluten free cookies. And she had them in the bag. I just want you to imagine that there's a bag of cookies in my hand and she's holding it out to me to show me, I don't know, something on it, the ingredients or something. But we're across the table. My eyesight's poor. So I'm like, look, I can't see. Let me just grab it and look at it. And she's like, no, don't touch it. Don't touch the bag. And I'm like, why? And she's like, because it's gluten-free and, you've been touching, like, bread and stuff. And I'm like, what do you think's going to happen? The deadly bread spores on my hand are going to go from the outside of the bag and burrow through the bag and get into your cookies?
Sounds like she's just paranoid. She'll touch it and then touch the cookie,
but I mean, like, she's starting about cross contamination and all this shit. And then my brother-in-law just grabbed the bag out of her hand.
Oh my god!
Just give him the damn bag.
Oh, we have a Facebook group that we post to, like, while she's there, just like quoting the things that she said. It's called Secular Popcorn, based on a stupid comment she made one Christmas.
Secular popcorn.
Secular
what?
popcorn. She said the popcorn was very secular that year. I don't know.
I think she may have meant succulent.
No, she meant she meant secular. All right, number 4. Holy Unholy says glowing hot metal is such a touchable shade of orange. And Thyrell says, I'm a welder, and let me tell you this does not go away if you're around a lot of hot metal. It's actually worse.
Ooh.
You would think a welder would, know better than anyone not to touch the spicy metal. But apparently it makes it worse.
Still appealing. The glow just kind of, it's like you're a moth.
Yeah. I don't want to touch it though. Okay, so I remember this username. This username, The Old Homosexual. That's the name.
Homosexual.
Yeah. Can we talk about how in zombie shows, movies, and books they always find a veterinarian and not a surgeon? Are veterinarians deemed more likely to survive the apocalypse? And then
that's true.
Dr. Farrock says, yup. One of our professional skills is not getting bitten by patients. We actually have a good broad knowledge base for both surgical, medical, and GP things. We're used to improvising equipment because a lot of stuff is just not made for animals. Meat safety is part of our training. Our cars are often full of equipment, especially in mixed practice, and we probably weren't in the human hospital at the initial outbreak. And then Smallest, Feeblest Boggart says, this post is deemed culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant as certified by the National Shitpost Registry. Ah, yes, the NSR, of course.
It's actually, this is very funny, because I have a related story.
Oh.
So I cut my finger pretty badly the other day at work. I wasn't paying attention, and not to get graphic, but I did end up taking a blade down most of my thumb.
Ow.
Whoa.
Yeah. And we did some field dressing on it because I'm like, it's not bad enough that I'm gonna call this in as a big injury because it's probably not going to be able to do anything. Fine, whatever. And then it was like, okay, we got a bandage on it, just kind of doing my thing, whatever. And then on Saturday, I went over to a friend's house. That friend happens to be a veterinarian.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
And I said, hey, V, can you take a look at this for me? I know you don't really deal a lot with humans, but I certainly trust you with, like, seeing if meat's working the way it's supposed to. And she did. And she goes, yeah, no, that's fine. It's an annoying wound, but they probably wouldn't be able to do anything to it. It's in a position that they wouldn't have been able to suture it or anything. So just, put some bacitracin on it, keep it covered, and you'll be fine.
There you go.
So therefore,
do its thing.
I went to the veterinarian for my injury.
Nice. Okay, number 6. This person has a username that is absolutely horrifying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Pregnant Seinfeld says...
Oh, I've seen that one around.
What's the deal with all these cramps I'm having?
What's the deal with them, Preg? Sorry.
I hate how they forced Bugs Bunny into anti-weed propaganda in the 90s, as if Bugs Bunny wouldn't love smoking weed. It's true. And then Cleablog says, to be perfectly fair, Bugs Bunny would also love taking money for starring in anti-weed propaganda and then using said money to buy weed.
This is also true.
Thought he'd be more of like a moonshine kind of guy, just from the time period he came from,
Yeah, but this was in the 90s, so...
Oh, with the what was that? Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue.
No, that was more like...
That was a little before.
Yeah.
That's like late 80s.
Yeah.
I don't remember these specifically anti-weed.
I don't remember them either, but, yeah, what's up, Doc? Don't smoke weed. I don't know. I'm high right now. That was more Adam Carolla than Bugs Bunny, but... number 7, Glue Skull says, I know people complain about heavy violence set to an upbeat tune trope being overdone in media, but my guy, I eat that shit up. The utter joy that I experienced watching the iconic coffee shop scene, 5 taking out all those men, set to Istanbul, not Constantinople, was stellar. I don't know what they're talking about, though. What is this?
What is it?
Coffee shop scene?
From what?
I didn't mention it, no. And then Darren the Scarlet Pescatarian says, I also enjoy the violent action scene pauses while the protagonist escapes into an elevator and has to wait awkwardly to elevator music for a bit before the doors open and violence or action music immediately resumes trope.
Oh, I do like that one.
That's a good one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's Captain America's, does anybody want to get out?
Also, to interject, Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue is in fact 1990, and it is explicitly anti-marijuana.
There you go.
So that must be what they're talking about.
That must be.
Carry on.
This is a weird name. Uncle Father here in number 8 says, I don't know anything about Dragon Ball, and I have no intention of getting into it. I just want to know what leads Vegeta, who I understand is the Prince of Space or something, to turn good, settle down, get a beautiful wife, and wear a pink blouse. And then Dank X Sinatra says he met a woman who wasn't intimidated by him and he had no coping mechanism except to marry her. And then Uncle Father says, I can respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, chicks, man.
I too can respect that.
It's very much the will of Bulma.
Yep.
Number 9, Psych 101 says, mutuals, I'd casually lay my legs over on the couch. And then Cracker Jackalope, that's a great name,
that's
says,
a good one.
I read this as lay my eggs, and even I initially almost said lay my eggs, so I'm with this person. I read this as lay my eggs, and even despite that not making any fucking grammatical sense, I was still just going to hit reblog immediately, like, yeah, dude, I get it. Sometimes you got to lay our eggs over on the couch. With your mutuals.
Yeah, sure.
Wow. All right, number 10, Radishant. Like radish, but not. Says, which one of you was going to tell me that tea tastes different if you put it in hot water? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, not the tea discourse. Oh, no.
Can we just skip this one because we know how it's going to end already?
Wait, what?
We have to continue for science.
For me? What the hell?
You've never heard the tea discourse?
I mean, isn't it going to be the same if it's hot or cold?
No.
No.
Why?
Because chemistry.
Just wait.
Okay,
wait.
so then Mothman Masato says, you were putting it in cold water? And Boing Frog says, Radish. Answer the question, Radish. And then Radishan says, yeah, I thought for like 5 years that people just put it in hot water to speed up the teaification process. I didn't realize there was an actual reason. And Boing Frog says, you think I have the patience to boil water? What the fuck? Oh, that was apparently the hashtag that this person used. It says, you don't have the patience to microwave water for 3 minutes? Oh, no, it's getting worse. And then Cats in Raincoat says, why are you putting it in the microwave to boil it? And then Boing Frog says, do you think I have the patience to boil water on the stove? And Captain Coates says, Cats in Raincoat says, it takes less than a minute. Now, I don't want to let you guys know that with from here on out, each one, the text is bigger and bolder. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
And Boing Frog says, Bestie, is your stovetop powered by the fucking sun? And Cats in Raincoat says, how long does it take you to boil a cup of water on the stove? And Boing Frog says, like 7 minutes. Cats in Raincoat says, just stick the mug on top of the stove on medium heat and it boils in like 2 minutes. Less than that is if you use a saucepan. And Boing Frog says, crying, you're putting the whole mug on the stove on medium heat? Your stove is enchanted. And then Pidoop says, but we're all thinking, every single person in this post is a fucking lunatic.
There's a lot happening here.
I would have added, if I was the person at the end, I would have said myself included. Because to insert yourself into this situation is lunacy. Okay, number 11 starts with a tweet, actually, and the name is cut off, but it says, in Germany, it's the most normal thing that washing machines are placed in bathrooms and not the kitchen, where it definitely doesn't belong. And then Holly says, this actually makes perfect sense. Why do we put them in the kitchen? And then always a dolphin says, "Who's putting washing machines in their kitchen?" I was wondering that myself because I've never seen a washing machine in a kitchen before.
Europe.
Really?
Probably.
Yeah, a lot of it in Europe.
So in Europe, they put it in the kitchen, except if it's Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's in the bathroom.
Well, it depends on the space, too.
Yeah, when I went to visit my friend in Scotland, her house, the washer dryer is literally in the kitchen.
Wow. I mean, I guess it's ready access to the hot water, but I don't know.
Still.
Well, then again, in my house, the kitchen, it takes a really long time for the water to get hot. So,
I mean, what if you don't have like a laundry room? Then where are you gonna put it, right?
Ours is just in the cellar.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in New York, before we had like a dedicated laundry area, the washing machine was. Come to think of it, the washing machine was in the kitchen.
Ta-da!
But the dryer was in the den.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Really annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom, 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 while you're whatever.
It wasn't so bad. You just turn the TV up.
All
right, number 12.
I think more just like carrying the stuff from the kitchen.
Oh, they were right next to each other. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
number 12. Can't have shit in Gotham, says every artist who has ever attempted to satirize masculinity. I'm so sorry. You could name a movie Portrait of a Delusional Abuser ruining his own life in pursuit of a fictional standard of manhood, and 89% of its fan base would still be like, fuck yeah, man, it's so cool when Shit Cum Dick gave that badass speech about how pushing everyone away and never letting yourself feel emotions is actually a good idea for your life. Fucking dope flick.
Wait, I don't get it.
It's about people that misunderstand movies like Fight Club or shows like Breaking Bad. And
oh, they see Fight Club as just, dudes beating up on each other as opposed to the real... Okay, I get you.
I mean, Fight Club was literally a takedown of toxic masculinity written by a gay dude. Just saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, next Thursday, my stream is the Council of Tolkien with Matt and Sid, and my actual topic is going to be Tolkien's views on toxic masculinity. So there you go.
Well. Little plug.
There you go, yeah. Well, it came to me that like when you see people talk about toxic masculinity, there's this opposition that says, what, it's bad to be masculine now? Oh, I hate that. Like, no, we're not saying that. We're saying that there's good ways and bad ways to express masculinity. And when we explain the good ways to express masculinity, Aragorn is the example that we use.
Yeah,
like,
basically.
He's the guy, you know what I mean? So, but then I got to thinking about that there are characters in Tolkien's Legendarium that express masculinity in toxic ways, and they're almost always they're not almost always, they are always the villains. You get like, Maeglin was basically an incel long before the word incel existed. Number 13, Kirsten Louise McDuffie. Just put your full-ass government name in there with no spaces. And my dad had a Skype interview today, so he was sitting in the living room looking all professional in his suit and tie and everything while he's talking to the people who are interviewing him. Of course, my cat decided that she needed to speak at that moment, so she just starts meowing left and right and talking crazy to the point where the interviewers just start laughing because she will just not shut up. So my dad just kind of sighs, looks at the camera and goes, "I'm so sorry, I have to ask my cat to leave," and then looks over at Victoria and very calmly and professionally goes, "Victoria, I'm afraid you're being too loud and I'm going to have to ask you to leave." And she did. She fucking turned and walked out of the living room.
Wow.
I've always said
well-behaved cat.
I've always said that if you tell a cat to do something and the cat does it, that's coincidence. But this really worked out. I wonder if he got the job.
Amazing coincidence.
Now, I know that's old, partly because I've seen it before, and partly because they use the word Skype.
When's the last time you Skyped someone?
Weirdly enough, it was like 2 weeks ago. Not a call, but I messaged Hitomi, because I only kept it to talk to her, and then I realized she wasn't getting my messages. So she showed up on stream, and I said, "Have you gotten my messages? I needed to talk to you about something." And she says, "No, Skype doesn't work for me anymore." And I'm like, "Oh, good. No, I don't need to use Skype anymore." Number 14, Count Chocula says, it has a screenshot of a little trivia from the Lord of the Rings movies where it says the moth to which Gandalf whispers was born shortly before filming that day and died soon after the scene was finished. Because, moths don't really last that long. And so Count Chocula here says, imagine you're a moth and your single day of existence was spent being in Lord of the Rings.
Heck yeah.
Oh, man. A short life, but a well-spent one. And then Onion Soul says, holds the record for greatest percentage of lifespan spent on screen. A true thespian. That's true, right?
Yeah.
Die-hard fan to the end.
Yeah. Number 50. He has no idea what the fuck's going on. Like, all right, this old guy whispers something to me, and then I fly away, and that was in the movie, right? Number 15, Leafy here says, every time I get groceries, I'm always appalled at how little you can get for like $20. I was making banana pudding, so I needed vanilla wafers, but the brand name Nilla wafers cost $4 a box. The minimum wage in my state is $7.25 an hour. My friend put it really well when he said, imagine you work for an hour and someone hands you 2 boxes of Nilla wafers and said, actually, this is a bit more than what I owe you. So then they replied with, how are some of y'all missing the point so bad? Shop at Aldi instead. Make your own food. Don't buy brand name. Don't buy unhealthy processed food. It's not about the box of cookies. This is about how minimum wage pays peanuts and has stagnated for 12 years. I think it's been longer than that. While the cost of living keeps growing, no one wants your financial advice about how to survive on beans and rice and frozen veggies. The smartest grocery list in the world is not going to help you budget your way out of poverty. Please get a grip for the love of God.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That got heavy.
He cooking, though.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, is this tumbler getting deep?
I'd jack with it, though.
Yeah.
All right, number 16. This is from White People Twitter. There's a person named Casey Grimm who says, you only got one family. Yeah, you only got one appendix too, but when it fucks with your health kit, you cut that bitch out of your life. and Solitarily says, also you can just get a new one. And then they reply, a family. You can get a new family. I must clarify. You cannot get a new appendix. You can get a new family. And then Carnival Phantasm says, you can if your surgeon is unethical enough.
Heck, you can have 2 appendices. Why not?
Get one of those black market appendix grafts. Number 17 starts with an anonymous ask, which is, can I use a calculator on the AP French exam? And then College Board official says, this motherfucker trying to solve French.
Solve for it.
That just really got me.
Well, the fact that they're College Board official Tumblr and said motherfucker. And by the way, I always think the phrase motherfucker is much funnier if it's written as 2 separate words. I don't know why. I just know that it is funnier if mother is a word and fucker is a word and they're not just, mashed together.
Then it becomes more literal and less of
the emphasis.
Yeah. And then Onion Orgy says, Anon needs to know how many 20s there are in a 90.
Oh, no.
I get it.
Oh.
All right. Number 18, Super Shipper says, Swedish recipes. No spice ever. Okay, maybe some cinnamon for the cinnamon rolls. But then no spice, just butter. Take all the butter you own, mix it with some flour and milk. Done. And then Pajama Apocalypse says, Norwegian recipes. Spices do not exist. There is only salt. You either boil it or fry it in butter. Potatoes and carrots with everything.
Salt and spice.
And then McKitterick says, Finnish recipes. This food still has color. Boil it more. Maybe soak it in lye while you wait for the life to bleach out of it, to stand outside and enjoy 2 minutes of daylight. If you complain about the cold, no one will ever eat your cooking again. Also, regarding dessert, everyone likes lard and sugar. Just spread it on some bread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Aspic.
I think aspic is a uniquely American concoction. Because I can't put that evil on any European country. That was pure America right there. Number 19 starts with a tweet from David Neary, who is posting like a screenshot from Wikipedia that says, several years after the events of Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, the story takes place partly in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and partly in Berlin, Germany, and leads up to the Wizarding World's involvement in World War II.
Oh, Christ.
Okay.
And then, so David Neary says, ha 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 ha, holy shit. Oh, this is going to be so much worse than the last one. And then Small Tail says, can someone just take this franchise and a shotgun round the back and put it out of its misery?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Warner Brothers did that, but then they're doing necromancy on it now, so.
Yeah.
Number 20, this one starts with an anonymous ask. This probably isn't the place to say this, but when I was in middle school, the girl I was in love with loved Sans from Undertale, and she would constantly read and write Sans self-cessed fanfic. I hate that the word self-cessed exists.
Oh, no, I understand it.
Yeah, well, it's not hard to understand. And
But
Drew,
I'd never heard the word before, and I already know it.
yeah, well, it's not hard to understand. And drew like incorrigible amounts of Sans self-cessed, safe-for-work, fat fetish art. There's a lot of adjectives in there that don't go together.
Much.
And one time we had to write an original story for English, and she turned in Sans Undertale fat fetish fan fiction, and I really wanted to tell her, like, me. I really wanted her to like me, so I let her get me into Undertale, and I would draw Sans for her all the time, and she would tell me about her Sans safe-for-work fat fetish fan fiction. I hope I don't have to say that phrase again. And convinced me to make a Tumblr and lie about my age online so I could participate in her community of safe-for-work fat fetish Sancest shippers and role-play blogs who were mostly other 12-year-olds lying about our ages online anyway. Anyway, she has a Jacksepticeye tattoo now.
Whoa, all right. Devotion.
And, Idol for Mantis answered with just a drawing of a horrified drive-through worker. You know, like,
I know that picture.
Like, sir, this is
It's
a Wendy's
basically like
drive-thru.
this person is saying this into the
Yeah,
speaker.
like, sir, this is a Wendy's drive-thru. Number 20. Wow. I mean, that was an ask. There wasn't a question in there. I just wanted to point that out.
That wasn't an ask. That was a tell.
Yeah, well, that was a tell. That's a good way of putting it.
Somebody had to get that off their chest.
Number 21. B Big Shot says, God, please just hire voice actors again, like actual voice actors. No more celebrity voice actors. Please just hire people who know what they're doing, or voice acting industry will cannibalize itself more than it already is. Let Jack Black do whatever he wants, though. Oh, that's aged poorly.
Yeah, that didn't age well.
Reglish says, I mean, sure, but Bowser, though? And B Big Shot says, you're saying this as if Jack Black as Bowser isn't the only thing that will be able to save this movie. Yeah, that
There are a lot of celebrities doing shit that we don't need them to. It's not necessary.
Yeah, no.
But it does help sell the movie.
It does. It does. Okay, number 22, S. The General says, I'm calling it now. The Mario Brothers movie will not have Charles Martinet play Mario for no reason and cast someone like Chris Pratt. That was posted May 21st, 2020. And, yeah. And then,
nope.
There's a reply from an anonymous thing where it shows these girls sort of looking horrified, and it says random internet users just trying to be comedic, and then a girl about to throw a giant red ball at them, and she's labeled as Apollo, and the ball is labeled the gift of prophecy. All right. Number 23. Attack of the B Team says, my favorite trope is the thing Star Trek does where a character lists something and then they'll list real things or people but add one that's fictional, like great writers such as Shakespeare, Robert Frost, Edgar Allan Poe, and Zaxxar the Giant Rat Man. Yep. And I'm a fan of that as well. And the Subcontinent says, I don't know anything about Star Trek, and this trope is absolutely hilarious, but I'm also a fan of the opposite of this trope, where a character is listing things that aren't real, but they'll add one thing that's real in the end.
Oh.
Using the example from, I think it's from Ralph Breaks the Internet. There's no Easter Bunny, there's no Tooth Fairy, and there's no Queen of England.
Wait a minute.
Number 24, writing prompt says, in a game with no consequences, why are you still playing the good side? And Raphael is cool but rude says, because being mean makes me feel bad. And DeFlair says, because my no consequences power fantasy is being able to help everyone.
Aww.
That sounds about right. I don't like being an asshole in video games.
Yeah, being mean makes me feel bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just want to take the nice route all the time.
Well, not always necessarily the nice route, but the good route.
Yes.
Good route, whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean.
Number 25, pre-teenager says, "This is no joke. It really happened in my first responder class today. My EMR instructor. You arrive at a scene with a patient lying on the ground. You check their level of alertness and they appear unconscious. You have already opened their airway with an adjunct and are administering oxygen. What do you do next? Student, call 911. My EMR instructor. You are 911.
Well, they didn't finish that. They have to say exits are north, south, and east.
Huh?
Never mind.
I don't get it.
Like an adventure game.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gorilla Tech here, this is number 26, shows a guy on a train throwing another guy a drawing of a guy throwing another guy off a train. And it says, "You've solved the trolley problem. You've killed the person responsible for tying all those people to trolley tracks. It's finally over." And then Isumris says, "Wow, so you're telling me you took an action that resulted in the death of one person to save the lives of many people? Who would have died if you did nothing? That sounds so familiar."
Yeah. Never heard of it.
Number 27, Rat Liker 1917 says, "Mad about the idea of money being exchanged for goods and services. First of all, explain to me what makes them goods instead of bads." It's like a hacky Seinfeld joke. Why are they called goods? They should be called bads.
I think that was...
I mean,
Go on.
it does sound like something that might have actually been in Seinfeld. Full-Time Sunshine says, "I'm screaming because I don't know if OP knows this, but this is a real thing in economics that we talk about and drew models of. A bad is a commodity that the consumer doesn't like." And then Undead Lobster says, "Money can be exchanged for beds and disservices." Fair enough. $20? I wanted a peanut. Number 28, Black and White Circus says, "Every time I hear the phrase 'great minds think alike,' I am inevitably reminded that the German equivalent is 'Zwei Dumme ein Gedanke,' 2 idiots, same thoughts."
Hey.
I like it.
I've had that one many times.
Yeah, I like it. Number 29, Yarrow the Witch says, "This crystal is good for such and such organ." Oh yeah, name 3 of that organ's functions. This will cleanse your body of toxins. Oh, which ones? What are their names? Why are they bad for you? What symptoms do they cause? And then
the bad ones.
Yeah, Halabalector, I think, says, "The crystal is good for the brain. It cures me of not enough shiny things toxin. This is the only good addition to this post." Fair enough.
Okay.
I guess if you're a magpie, there were supposed to be 30 of these, but apparently there's 34. Just letting you know. Let's just think of it as a bonus, a little extra tumbler as a treat. Hey. Number 30, boy, man, male. We get it.
Yeah.
Big oil companies, you are bad. You ate a meat today. You drove the gas car. Bad peasant, bad. You are destroying the environment. Also big oil companies. Whoops, just spilled 3 million barrels of crude oil into a protected coral reef. Oh, well, we all make mistakes sometimes.
We're sorry.
Yep. That's all I can say to that is yep.
Yep.
Number 31, Book Nutty says, if we got all the cats in the world to meow at exactly the same time, how loud would it be? And then that is a true shower thought, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Solemn Thing says, well, the average cat meow is like 65 to 75 decibels, above speaking volume but below shouting. And there are about 2 billion cats in the world, so that by that math, 130 to 150 billion decibels, which is about 100 million jets taking off at once. And Book Nutty says, catastrophically loud.
Nice.
Indeed.
I want to see all these jets take off at once.
Yeah. Wait, you'd rather that than the cats?
Yes. Here, no.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Number 32, Micro SFF says, Micro Story. These copper ingots, the devil said, are of subpar quality. You accepted them as payment, the merchant said. The deal is done. Very well, I will uphold my end of the bargain, the devil said. Your name will live forever. That is all I ask, said E.A. Nasir. Okay.
Oh, Ian Nasir.
Yep. And then Peaceful Poetic Chaos says, Tumblr's sincere commitment to never letting E.A. Nasir die is genuinely amazing.
I think I read yesterday or the day before was like the 10-year anniversary of that becoming meme.
What?
And I could hear.
miss it?
Yeah, yes, you did.
Oh.
Okay,
What
so
the hell?
basically, okay, it was a stone tablet found from like ancient Greece of a guy named Ian Nasser who was basically leaving a bad Yelp review of some copper that he received that was of poor quality.
Okay.
And then Tumblr found out about this, ancient Yelp review, and they went completely batshit about it because that's what Tumblr does.
Okay. Is that
All
it?
right. That's it, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and this is
okay.
kind of taken off from there.
Yeah. It's just
Not as thrilling as I thought.
It's
Next.
not. It's not meant to be thrilling. It's just a cute little throwback. Number 33, Like the Ghost, says, my goal is to be completely vaporized at Disneyland so they can't take my body off the premises and pronounce me dead off-site. And then Gales of November says, okay, bring your own team of doctors and paramedics to pronounce you dead as soon as it happens so they're stuck with it. And then Minnie Like says, I love the visual of me striding into Disneyland all smug with a confused team of doctors.
Why are we? What is going to happen?
What are we doing here? What is this again? All right. And number 4, Duskin Path says, I'm really into internet discourse, but only pointless and stupid internet discourse, like how many holes are there in a straw? It's 2. And then Duskin Path posts a picture of a reply that they got saying, no, it is an infinite amount of holes stacked on top of each other. And he says, this is exactly what I'm talking about. All right, I am going to solve the whole thing. It's one hole. And there's a reason that I say that it's one hole, and it is because, would you say that a donut has 2 holes? Of course not.
Ooh.
Ridiculous. What if you made a really fucking long donut? At what point does it become 2 holes?
At what point does the donut just become a big straw?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the same structure, just shorter.
It'd be really hard to suck any liquid out of it.
If you cut a straw into many little pieces, like little donuts, do they each have 2 holes? No. Anyway, out of 34, I'm going to say a few of these were quite old, but I don't mind so much. I'm going to give it a 29 is where I'm at.
I'll go 25. Because I think I just dock extra points for that fucking T one because I hate it every time I see it.
Some of these I was a little befuddled on because I'm not Tumblr savvy, so I'll go 27.
You know what's funny is that all the ones that Jesse was like, I do not know of this, I've had on List Critics with Jesse before.
And it's going to happen again.
I know,
hate to say.
will. It will happen again. I have another one for Pleated Jeans. This is 40 funniest tweets of the week. Okay, so, just Twitter jokes everyone should read. Yo, what up, Almighty Santa? Next on List Critics, Pokemon that even Moog wouldn't go for. I would hope
really?
that would be most of them.
Well?
So number 1, Bongo says, hate when I see someone promoting beef tallow as moisturizer. Bitch, you smell like a Slim Jim.
Ew. I just see them smearing it all. Oh, no.
That can't be good for your skin.
No, it can't.
No, it can't be. Number 2, Derek Guy says, ain't no way we cut Medicaid and housing assistance so Jeff Bezos could buy this shirt. And it shows
That's menswear guy.
That's what?
That's menswear guy. I know exactly who
Oh,
that
Derek
person
Guy.
is.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that who it is? Okay.
Yes.
Well, it shows a picture of Jeff Bezos wearing this ridiculous shirt that looks like really cheap Christmas wrapping.
I have seen the shirt, and it's atrocious.
It's pretty bad, yeah. Number 3, Ally says, I wouldn't make such a good oil heiress. Massive public libraries and unnecessarily beautiful train stations for everyone. Yeah, let's do it. I like it.
I do like a nice train station.
Number 4, Bitsy says, I like my coffee the way I like my men. Sliding off the roof of my car as I absent-mindedly drive away.
Nice. Stay
Nice.
away.
Number 5, so it has a tweet from somebody whose name is Emojis. It says, if the Titanic sank today, and it just shows people floating in the water, like trying to like take pictures of it with their phones. This dumb fucking cartoon, and this person says, not a sinking. I hate it.
Yeah.
Number 6, Adam Rotstein says, I'm not supposed to be sharing this with people, but my one-time passcode for resetting my Sweet Green account is 81238.
Wheat green?
I don't know what that is.
A food place.
Food thing?
Yeah.
Like
But
yeah.
Oh. Number 7, Upper East Cell Cider says, never drinking again unless something fun is going on, or it's the weekend again, or I'm in the mood for a drink. Fair enough.
Yep, I hear that.
There's a Sweet Green in my hometown.
Oh no.
There you go.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I don't know
I
if
don't know
if that's good or bad.
Let me look at the menu and I'll get back to you guys. Oh,
Okay.
It's just boring salads. I guess it's fine.
Woo!
Number 8 starts with Pop Crave saying, Ayo Edebiri in talks to write and star in A24's live-action Barney movie. Please don't do this. And
No.
Nick Miller says, isn't Barney already live-action? Are they getting a real dinosaur this time?
Yeah, they're gonna get a real dinosaur.
Yeah, like it wasn't a cartoon or anything. Why do they have to specify live-action? Number 9, Your Other Mom says, every time you make it out of Trader Joe's parking lot without getting into an accident, someone should dump a cooler of Gatorade on you.
That could become an accident all its own.
That's true, yeah. Number 10, this starts with 21 saying, Millie Bobby Brown grabbed dinner at Mother Wolf restaurant in Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
And then somebody named Grip Skylark says, baby, I thought this was Jennifer Coolidge. If I knew who that was, who the fuck is
Actress?
Jennifer Coolidge?
Oh, hang on. I know who that one is.
I know who Millie Bobby Brown is.
Cool it with Coolidge.
I'm trying to think of like what most people would actually know her for.
Nothing, apparently.
She was in. She was the older woman in Legally Blonde.
Okay.
Oh,
The Bend and Snap lady. She's also in
Yeah.
Best in Show.
Now I get the joke. Okay. Rams, this is number 11. Ram says, hi at 51 tomorrow. About to sit at Cafe Select like I'm Anthony Bourdain. Fair enough.
okay.
Number 12, K-Scrap says, boyfriends rock. You ask them, what are you doing? And they say, I'm 7 minutes into a 26-minute video about superglue.
I can see myself going down that hole for 26 minutes.
Why is that me?
Yeah.
I don't even care about it, but I would I'll watch this. You know, like.
I'll give it a shot. Why not?
Hey, right now I'm 13 hours and 27 minutes and 1 second into a 24-hour long song. So,
That's a long song,
That's a
dude.
long song.
well, I had to experience it. Not all at once, obviously. I pause it,
Yeah, no,
Something you gotta come
it
back
later.
to.
Yeah. Number 13, Lily the Neighborhood Pest says, urgent care got a picture of a house framed and hung where a medical degree might be. It's a picture of Dr. House. She took a picture of the picture, too, so. It's
I
there.
like that.
Number 14, Low Yield Lucy says, still working remote in 2025 is like being one of those Japanese soldiers who stayed in the jungle for 30 years after World War II. Okay, first off, no, it's not at all like that. And they weren't in the jungle. They were in a ship in the Indian Ocean, you fucking idiot. Open a book one day.
Yeah.
Number 15, Stick says, every time I make my husband a bagel, I take a bite out of it and then tell him we have mice. Big mice today, boss, he'll say.
Uh-huh. And?
For some reason, I'm reminded of that picture that Alice posted the other day in the meme suppository of a cat saying, I will take a bite out of every bagel in the world.
Whoa.
Number 16, Mark Schindler says, first scam text that's almost gotten me, and shows a screenshot of it. Hi, what's up tonight? I'm planning to cook some lamb chops and steaks. Would you like to join me?
Lamb chops and steaks?
I don't know what the scam is, but I'd at least find out.
Oh, they say, oh, you say, oh, this is the wrong number, and they say, oh, this isn't blah blah blah, and you say, no, this isn't, and then they just try to like talk to you and then scam you into like sending gift cards or whatever.
Oh, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
It is gift cards.
Yeah, I usually reply to scam texts with some sort of fuck shit, but today I got one that was like, about Easy Pass or something, which I don't have an Easy Pass. But the phone number was like clearly not an American phone number, so I looked up the country code, and I'm like, this is from Brazil. I'm not going to reply.
Wow, they didn't even bother masking it.
No, they didn't. I'm not going to reply and get some like crazy international charge or something.
Yeah.
Number 17, Audrey Kaufman says, You shouldn't need a prescription to get Adderall. You should just be able to text the pharmacist a photo of your apartment.
Needs cleaning.
Number 18. Okay. Good God. So number 18 shows a picture of like a render of like one of those like, those grills that you can get on your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like two gold teeth with like hands reaching across the teeth between them, and it's like E.T. and Elliot with the fingers. And it's and Yuta says this would go so hard on someone with a tooth gap.
Ooh, yeah.
That's crazy. All right, number 19, Kip Conlon says Chick-fil-A, we're not open Sunday because of the Lord. Taco Bell, we named this sauce after Satan.
El Diablo.
They do have Diablo sauce.
They do have Diablo sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Diablo sauce too. Number 20, Cigarette Dystopia says, did you know they make an all-natural plant-based alternative to vapes? Fuck off, dude.
What?
He's talking about cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were talking about weed.
No, I mean the name of the account is Cigarette Dystopia. At Sigs Make.
Sigs Make.
Yeah. Number 21, Claire says, I'm no reply girl, but I am a like girl. I like a lot of tweets, a lot of stories, overall a lot of posts. I'm a giver, a lover of like. I love a tap on the heart, you could say. Fair enough. Number 21, this person whose name is just a symbol says, kids today could never, and just has a picture. Remember those like silly bands? They were like rubber bands, but in weird fucking shapes. And Allie says, I remember they banned these in school because it was that serious.
And it's not silly at all.
Yeah. Number 23, T says, okay, Spring, I see you showing a little leg out there. I wish.
To be fair, it was pushing 60 today.
That is true, yeah. All the fucking ice.
Still waiting on it.
Number 24, Nancy here says, high of 45. And just, I don't know, there's this picture of this guy walking his dog on the beach. I don't know what the joke is, to be honest. I don't get it.
Like 45 degrees Celsius?
Projecting that it's warmer than it is.
I guess. Number 25, Big Honkin' Caboose says, my hobbies include healing my gut microbiome and absolutely destroying my gut microbiome. Fair enough.
Sure. You eat, you drink.
Number 26. This guy's name is Kevin Finnerty. It says, massive hangover, and she's walking around the house with a tape measure. And shows a picture of Tony Soprano sitting on the couch. Okay, so the joke isn't funny, but the fact that his name is Kevin Finnerty and he used a picture of Tony Soprano is funny. And for those of you who don't know,
Finnerty?
That's the name that Tony had when he was in his coma.
Oh, God, I completely forgot about all of that.
Number 27, Serena from LA says, I didn't realize Audi was a severance thing for a while, and I thought the internet was suddenly obsessed with belly buttons. Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what is up with all that?
It's from this show Severance, but I honestly thought it was about belly buttons for a little while.
Me too. Any Audi?
Yeah.
So basically the quick version of that is when you go to work, the person that you become has absolutely no recollection of what your life is outside of the building. So you have two selves, your innie self, who is the person at work, and your outie self, who is the person away from such.
Yeah.
And it's social commentary on such.
Obviously.
Okay.
But the even faster version is from a TV show, and they're not talking about belly buttons.
Okay.
GZ here at number 28 says, when the Earl Grey kicks in, and just, there's a picture of some deer running. I don't quite get it.
Okay.
Strange.
All right, sure.
Yeah. 29, actually, it's good, says, sorry, not interested in the White Lotus, busy dealing with the orange POTUS.
Well,
see, that's why escapism. That's why we have TV shows.
And innies and outies.
Apparently so. Number 30, Hannah says, okay, so no big deal, but tomorrow I'm starting my new meticulous daily routine that will completely transform my life forever.
Tomorrow you're starting it, though.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Always tomorrow.
Always tomorrow. Number 31, Victor here says, country music in 2050. A little bit of tofu fried soy slop on a Friday night. Pot of beans that's cooked just right and regime radio on.
Yeah, I get it.
Oof. All right, number 32, Germ says, me after carrying the weight of being fucking stupid all day. And it's one of those back pain pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, the scientist says, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it, though. It hurts.
Number 33, Kimberly says, I had a straight dude come to my place and he complimented my decor. I killed him with my bare hands.
The hell?
I think the implication is that if a straight dude compliments your decor, it's terrible.
Aw, that's not fair.
Well, you gotta be honest, we don't really know much about that kind of thing. It's like,
Well,
I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I don't know art, but I know what I like.
yeah.
Number
That's a good way of
34.
putting it.
This starts with a tweet from Synethic who says, Britt Lower and Adam Scott, and a picture of those two. And then Doomer here says, I know a Subaru dealership hate to see them coming. I don't even get it, it's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just Subaru is funny, I guess. Number 35, Kendrick Lobstar says, the grocery store had a ham on clearance, and I was like, fuck yeah, I love ham. Well, I'm on day 4 of eating fucking ham, and I'm an idiot. This was too much ham. That's fair enough.
Freeze the ham, sweetie.
Yeah.
Chop it up and freeze it.
You
could
don't
do
have
that.
to eat it all at once.
Well, you know,
You're not required to by law.
You know, at least they got that back pain from the carrying the weight of being really fucking stupid all day long. Number 36, Ahmad says, you know what's crazy? There's an entire generation that wouldn't get this joke because they don't know how to read an analog clock. And it just shows a lady just doing a high kick, and it says clocks at 6:50 p.m. I hate to say it because it's such like a boomer meme, but it is kind of true. Like, my nephews would not get that.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Number 37, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing because who fucking cares, but it is true. Number 37, Zoe Rose Bryant says, life just feels a lot brighter when there's a new episode of a critically acclaimed HBO series to watch every Sunday night. Okay.
If you're into it, if you're not, then it's just another Sunday night.
I don't even know what the current critically acclaimed HBO show is because I know that fucking Succession is over, so I don't know what they're doing now.
Yeah.
What's the successor?
Number 38, oh god. Billy Ray Lahi 62 shows a picture of these like two giant, like really tall kegs, but they're like skinny and they're like, it says Bud Light on them, and somebody's pouring out of it, and it says Tower 1 has been hit.
Okay.
Dude.
Bud Light. Ugh.
Do better than that. I mean, if you're going to go that far, if you're going to make a 9/11 joke, at least make it funny.
And Bud Light? God.
I don't know. I don't fucks with no light beer. Number 39, Shit Poster Emeritus says, I pity those who live in places that will never know how good 40 degrees can feel.
40 degrees.
I'm assuming Fahrenheit.
it's
40
probably
degrees
not
Celsius would be
That's
fucking
kind of
horrifying.
incinerating.
Yes.
You die at that point.
I've been in 40 Celsius, and it's hard.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be bad. Number 40, Alfie says, feels wrong that someone who was 45 in 2000 is now 70. Why do I keep seeing this? This is like my 5th time seeing this tweet this week.
Is it that viral?
I guess. Good for you, Alfie. Out of 40, this is kind of weak, to be honest. A few of these were fun. I'm gonna go right down the middle. This is like a 20 out of 40.
Yeah, I think
Weak
21
sauce.
because the stupid back pain one was so relatable. But everything else was just kind of...
How is it relatable? You're like the smartest person here. What are you talking about?
Because I feel like the smart is being drained out of me by the amount of work I have to do lately.
We all
so.
wait, hold on. We all feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
We all feel. You ever just read something and you're like, I'm dumber from having read that? That's every day.
Yes.
They're sucking the intelligence out of our brains.
All right, I got submitted lists here. Where's my List Critics channel? There it is.
Oh,
Okay.
I'll say 19, by the way.
Oh, 19. That's right. Okay. All right. Okay. Here's something from Bort, and from a YouTuber that we're pretty familiar with at this point.
Is it
It's
Is it?
Totally Tubular
Oh,
Jonathan.
totally
Wait,
tubular Jonathan?
Were you on the show? Because I know you missed a few episodes when I revealed that Alice had showed me a picture of what Totally Tubular Jonathan looks like.
No.
So I get this DM from Alice at it, like, "Do you want to see a picture of Totally Tubular Jonathan?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's just, nondescript skinny white guy, but for some reason he's holding a mug in the picture and doing this really stupid grin. And the mug has like some Pikmin on it, and that's all I saw was he was holding a mug with Pikmin on it. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, he looks exactly like I thought he would." And Alice is like, "But why does the mug he's holding say piss on it?" And I go, "Wait a minute." And I go to look at it. Yeah, the word piss is on it. And I'm like, "Why does he have a mug that says piss on it?"
I am now seeing this exact picture. It's on his Patreon.
Why is there? Why does he have the mug?
piss?
Why does that mug exist? First of all, why is there any mug with the word piss on it? And secondly, why does it have Pikmin on it as well?
Maybe he likes it because it's sterile and he likes the taste.
No, I'm questioning why the mug exists.
Yeah. Where did that
Maybe
come?
he
Where
made
and
it,
why? Oh
I
God!
mean-
What if that's his own merch?
It's got to be like you don't think Nintendo would make that, right?
No, clearly not.
Okay, well, Totally Tubular Jonathan wrote a list of games that made us cry,
Okay.
and these all have the
We'll
key
see
moments.
about that totally tubular
Yeah.
Jonathan.
This all has the key moments on it, so obviously, spoiler alert for a lot of different games.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Starting with The Last of Us Part 2, the key moment being Joel's death.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
If you cried when Joel died, you probably have some problems.
If you cried when Joel died, then you're already dead inside.
Damn, that's tough. No, I would say that, like, honestly, he had it coming. Like, I get it. He's the protagonist of the first game, but he did some really fucking questionable shit.
I never played the second one, so that is a spoiler for me, but I don't care.
Well, now you know what's going to happen right around the first or second episode of the second season of the TV show.
Oh yeah, there's a TV show.
Did you watch the first season?
No, not at all.
That's the HBO show.
But that's not on yet right now.
I know, but that might. I don't know what.
It's
All right.
we're
You're
still,
right. You're right.
It will be when season 2 comes out.
Calm down. It'll arrive.
Damn. Okay, so this next one is not a moment from a video game, but a moment from 3 different video games, because it's the Persona series, specifying 3, 4, and 5, saying the key moments are the endings.
Okay.
I'll have to take your word for it. I haven't played through these games.
I've seen 5, and I don't remember the ending. So
Yeah.
carry on.
Doesn't 5 have like 3 or 4 different versions of itself too?
There's 2
Each
versions.
of them have
of it.
two
Dancing game,
versions.
a fighting game.
Oh.
No,
They're
the
not-
fighting
they're
game
side
is
stories.
the fighting game is a spin-off from 4.
Oh, I can't keep track anymore.
No, there's only 2. There's Persona 5 and there's Persona 5 the Royal. And it's basically just think of it like Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Oh,
One's got a little bit more story.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
A Plague Tale Innocence, the dog dying in the beginning. Yeah,
Whoa,
I would not
okay.
be happy with that.
That would be no bueno.
Final Fantasy 16. Really? Okay.
Oh,
Ooh,
I don't even know what
yes.
the plot is of 16.
it's really good.
The key moment being Clive's goodbye to Jill.
Oh,
I gotta be
yes,
honest with you.
absolutely, yes.
I saw the trailer for this game and I was just like, seems boring.
You
Are
know,
you
I
done?
didn't have high hopes for it.
Yeah.
But it ended up being much better than I thought.
I don't know.
And
I
I
was just
didn't
sort of like,
particularly care for 15, so
I haven't played 15. I have it, but I haven't played it. But I was just like, wake me up when it's Dragon Quest 12. I just don't care at this point. It wasn't getting me, you know?
yeah.
You're just done with the series?
No, I'm just wasn't interested in that particular game.
Oh, okay.
Baldur's Gate 3, the key moment being the ending and companion resolutions. Doesn't that depend greatly on what you do during the game?
Yeah, I thought that one was like very like
That's
D&D.
the whole premise.
Yeah. The Walking Dead Season 1, the key moment being Lee's death. Well, I don't know who Lee is, but I guess Ripperoonie Lee.
I have actually played through this, and I mean, yeah, it's kind of a bummer, but I didn't cry.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, that sucks. Anyway, Season 2.
Kingdom Hearts 1. Really? The key moment being Winnie the Pooh's sadness over losing his friends?
Oh, okay, that does fuck me up.
It's a little sad.
That's just because I
got you.
I'm very emotional about Winnie the Pooh.
I get you, yeah. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the key moment being the Master Sword retrieval. Why is that sad?
It looks cool.
Why is that sad?
I don't know.
Like,
cool.
the sword fucking breaks in the beginning, and then you fix it, and
then you're good.
Yeah. The Yakuza Like a Dragon series, the key moment being Kiryu crying in Like a Dragon Gaiden.
That's like 1 game out of 8. How does that represent the entire series?
I don't know.
I mean, it's very sad.
This last one,
that's not totally tubular.
I know. This last one is, I think, the only one that like really fits the premise, which is Red Dead Redemption 2 when Arthur Morgan dies.
Okay, I can see that.
That's the only one that I think really fits the premise of this.
Is that the protagonist?
Yeah.
I personally feel like the Final Fantasy 16 one fits, but yeah.
Jesus, how many of these were there? 1, 2, 3.
I don't know, I'm giving it a 2 out of this list was bad.
It was 10, so yeah, 3. I'm gonna give it a 3.
I'm giving it a 2, as in a number 2. Am I right?
Oh, turd joke.
Oh no, this okay.
Totally turdular.
Oh no, Bort, why have you done this? Okay, so the next list is from a YouTuber that we may have heard of by the name Larry Bundy Jr.
Oh,
okay. Welcome to Fact Hunt.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Yeah, I was just talking on stream the other day about like what a horrible turd this guy turned out to be.
Can we?
Oh,
do
is
we
he?
have to do this one? If this guy's,
I don't really follow him, but what did he do?
Okay, what didn't he do? Is the real question. Okay, I'll give you one example. Okay, do you remember that site Encyclopedia Dramatica?
I do. Oh my god, that's going back a bit.
It turns out he wrote most of it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my. There was some. Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
Whew. All right.
Well, here's his list of broken, unbeatable games thanks to developer stupidity.
Let's see if we agree.
I don't think there's not much to agree with. These games literally can't be beaten for various reasons. So it is an interesting list, at least.
Okay.
The first one is Bubble Bobble Revolution. This was on the DS, and it was specifically the American version. What happened was there was a boss level where the boss just would not show up.
Oh.
Yeah, the level would load. I remember this. Yeah. You'd walk around and just nothing
happened.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing happened.
No timer to run out or anything.
Taito claimed that they would send out patch copies, but I don't think they ever did.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So they made one called like Revolutions, like to fix it or something.
Yeah, but you had to buy it.
You still had to buy it. Yeah.
Mindstorm was a game that came out. It was bundled with the Vectrex. And apparently it would just crash after a while.
Like, so they made Mindstorm 2.
Yep, which was basically just, it wasn't a sequel, it was just the game fixed.
Yep, agreed, yep.
Tokyo Extreme Racer 3. So basically they fucked up the conversion rate on some money, and it turned out that you couldn't beat the game because you could never attain the amount of money needed.
Oh, did they do like a dollars to yen?
That's exactly what
problem?
happened. Yeah.
Like a 1-to-1?
Get out of here.
So there was a cap on how much money you could have, and you needed more than that to beat the game.
Oh no.
Terminator 2 for the Commodore 64 GS. Now, if you don't know what that is, it was a consoleized Commodore 64. Unfortunately, Terminator 2 needed a keyboard to start the game.
Whoops-a-daisy.
Yeah. And you know what they did to fix it? You would send in your GS and they would send you a Commodore 64.
Well,
wow.
Madden NFL 2006 for the PSP.
Oh.
So from my understanding this, I'm not like really reading Guru Larry's reasoning here because I don't give a fuck about him. But what would happen is that basically any time there was an interception, it would turn off your PSP.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Damn it, again!
It would only happen in like a certain mode of the game, but it's still like, what the fuck? And apparently EA's reaction to this was, whatever, we have your money already, so...
Wait till next year.
Yeah. Smash TV was supposed to have an ending, but didn't.
Amazing.
People thought it was just an endless arcade game, but it was supposed to have an ending.
Supposed to, yeah. They promised one.
Yep. Great Gurianos, which was a ZX Spectrum game. For some reason, you just couldn't hurt the last boss, and there you go.
Oh, well. It was on a tape.
The ZX Spectrum.
Yes, ZX.
RoboCop for the Commodore 64. Yeah, so basically there was some sort of like crazy bug in one of the levels that would make it impossible. So they fixed it by... You're going to love this. They made the time limit so short that you would never be able to actually get to that point.
You couldn't beat it anyway.
Yeah.
Dicks.
Yeah. Dennis the Menace for the Amiga had a jump that you technically could not jump.
Oh, and I was looking forward to playing that game.
Was that like a movie tie-in?
Yes, it was. It was. It was rushed out.
I actually know somebody who was in that movie.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh.
I went to high school with the girl that played Margaret.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, yeah, Walter Matthau was my uncle. Yeah.
No.
Wicked, yeah.
And finally, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. You technically could beat it, but the thing is, if you bought the disc version of the game, it actually only contained the demo, and then you'd have to download this really big patch. So if you didn't have internet, you could not beat the game.
God,
Full price for the disc, and you couldn't play it.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So, I don't know how many were these.
10?
I'm guessing 10.
I'm just going to give it a B+.
Yeah. I agree. Good list from
a B for Larry
person
Bundy's
we don't care about.
Larry Bundy's a bitch.
Ooh.
Okay, Bort here gives us a YouTuber Cool Duder.
Cool Duder!
Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently this is disliked movies from this guy's DVD collection.
Why do you have them then?
Well, sometimes you get a movie and you watch it and you don't like it.
Or sometimes you buy online, like somebody's got 100-pack, and
it could be that too. Yeah.
Okay.
So this guy has all these DVDs and he doesn't like these particular movies. They're not numbered or anything. The first one is Dan Ran, which I've never heard of.
I've never
Apparently,
heard of that.
it's a vehicle for Andy Dick, so that tells you a lot right there.
There you go.
Yeah. Charlie's Angels. It doesn't tell me which one, but they're all kind of bad. So
I like the first one enough. It had the Chad in it.
Something called the Driller Killer. Don't know what that is.
I think that's like an 80s slasher.
Oh, okay. Something called Walking Life. With the note that whoever it was attempted to watch it multiple times but never finished it. Dang. Amazonia. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently they found this at a convention. They found it dull and too conventional for cannibal movie. Okay, if you say so.
Not cannibalistic enough.
Yeah, right. Andre the Butcher is on this list. I don't know what that is, but okay.
No.
Doesn't sound pleasant. The remake of The Bad News Bears. Yeah.
I did not see that. I've seen the original. I've not seen the remake.
Kind of. It was flaccid, really.
Oh, you need a. Oh, I don't even want to finish that sentence.
Yeah. The remake of The Shining. I actually like the remake of The Shining. I actually don't like the original, so there you go. But I know I'm a weirdo. So.
But okay, that's fair enough. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
The original Shining is overrated.
Okay.
The remake of Psycho. You know, the thing about this is it's not that the movie's is bad. It was kind of pointless.
It was shot for shot for shot.
Yeah. 8 Mile? Wait, hold on. You didn't like 8 Mile? Why not?
Well, maybe they're just
They
not
said it was-
into rap journeys.
They said it was boring and uninteresting. All right, cool.
Yeah, maybe it's
Did
just
they
not
watch the same movie?
No,
Maybe it's just
obviously.
not for them.
Well, I think this guy might have a hard on for Eminem because the next one is the Slim Shady Show.
That was a movie?
Yeah, it was like a cartoon.
Oh.
A cartoon?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Speaking of which, is something called Evil Tunes. Don't know what that is.
Oh boy.
No.
Yeah, and then Children of the Living Dead, which I've never heard of.
Oh.
And then something called Mommy. I feel like there's a thematic thread here. Then Gosford Park.
Oh.
Sus.
Okay.
And then finally the sequels to Bring It On, which I am just now finding out that there are sequels to Bring It On.
I think they had a bunch of like direct-to-video ones.
That's sad.
Yep. It's already been brought.
Yeah, I'm not jacking it, dude. F
I hope
plus.
not.
I'm not jacking it at all. Nah, F
Van
plus,
Show.
bro. You know
Yeah,
what
that
your
kinda
grade
sucks.
is? F plus.
I'll give it an E, because nobody gives E.
Nobody gives E's. That's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of E's,
In my school,
Elise.
Well, I'm going to give it a U. Because in my school,
Oh.
they didn't give Fs. We
Yeah, it
had
was-
U
yeah,
for
it was-
unsatisfactory.
It was E, and then let's see if I can remember. There was E, G, S,
G.
N, and then U was the failing grade.
Wow.
Oh.
No, we had A, B, C, D, U.
Oh, really? See, yeah, it was. It was
It's a lot.
okay.
Oh, no,
it was,
no E's.
E was excellent. G was good. S was satisfactory. N was needs improvement, and U was unsatisfactory.
Yeah. We had A through D, and then it went straight to U.
That is weird.
Right?
No
I
U.
never, I never
No U.
understood that.
All right.
But it's kind of like being on the 14th floor. You know what floor you're really on. You get a U, you know what you really got.
Jump out the window. You'll die earlier.
Yeah.
That's what Mitch Hedberg said about the 14th
Mitch,
floor
yeah,
thing.
very Mitch joke.
Okay, here's one from Totally Tubular Jonathan.
Yeah, he's back.
Drinking out of his piss mug.
Ugh.
Games that waste your time. Games that waste your time, apparently. So these are games that are considered good, but have certain areas or aspects where it doesn't feel like most useful or productive of the player's time. Okay?
Okay.
So the first one is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which they describe as a never-ending odyssey of of fetch quests and level-gated main missions. Don't forget that helpful Time Savers DLC Ubisoft generously offers, for a price, of course.
I thought they would just make you read the entire The Odyssey. That would waste your time.
No, that'd be a better use of your time. No, but like seriously, this is your like. Oh, I have to be level 80 to do this quest. Ooh, well, fucking do other shit.
Yeah, go do stuff until you get there.
Really, the entirety of all the 3D Zelda games, apparently.
Wow. I mean, didn't this motherfucker say,
Dude hates side quests.
fucking piss cup?
We're just gonna start calling him Piss Cup.
Yeah, we are.
Even masterpieces aren't safe from criticism, from sailing endlessly in Wind Waker to repetitive climbing in Tears of the Kingdom. Filler abounds.
Isn't
Wait
that
a minute,
just
wait a
called
minute.
A video game these days?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on. You're telling me that in a game that takes place on an ocean, you will be in a boat?
No.
You gotta
You're
sail
kidding
to
me.
different islands,
Yeah.
of which there are many.
Impossible.
I wonder what Totally Tubular Jonathan would make of East 10.
Mm.
East 10 is like the Wind Waker of the series.
Oh,
It's
all right.
It's on an ocean and you get to sail around.
Hey, come sail away.
It's
All right.
actually really fun. Death Stranding, the walking simulator meme incarnate. Sure, delivering packages is relaxing until you realize you've been hiking for hours with no end in sight. I mean, but this
isn't
is...
that literally the point of that game?
Okay, so I hate to say it, but Hideo Kojima should just make movies.
At this point, I mean, why not?
Can we get this guy like a really nice indie studio with some budget and some actors and shit, and let him make some like really bitchin' movies? Just saying.
Hell,
Yeah.
why does he stick to video games?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know because he really makes.
Devil, you know.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, exactly. The entire Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series. Wandering endlessly through procedurally generated floors, desperately searching for stairs because randomness is just that fun, right?
He just doesn't like the genre then.
Yeah.
As someone who has put thousands of hours into The Binding of Isaac,
Yeah.
I wish Totally Tubular Jonathan a very stub your toe. Alan
Such
Wake,
a weenie, man.
he is a weenie, isn't he? And you know, the fact that we're calling him a weenie and we're calling him piss cut means that Bort is just going to continue to give us his list because
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure that everybody just loves us taking the piss out of this dude, you know, right out of his mug.
Force feed them trolls the cake.
Exactly. Oh, you remember that? Good. See?
I do remember that.
Alan Wake 2 is on here, which I haven't played this, but I played Alan Wake and I played Alan Wake's American Nightmare, but I haven't played 2 yet. Slow burn storytelling taken to the extreme where even piecing clues together on a mind map feels like an eternity. Yeah, but don't you get to like shoot demons in the head at the same time? Like,
What does this man want?
Like Alan, I don't know what the second game is really like, how different it is, but like Alan Wake was like pretty fucking action packed. Like it was sort of never a dull moment, you know.
I don't get it because he's like, oh, these games are good, but also they suck.
Well, I guess
Tell
he's
me what you want,
yeah.
fucker.
Yeah, who knows, right? Persona 3, a dungeon with over 200 floors of repetitive grind. Yes, please, said no one ever.
Okay, that's valid though. That part really does suck.
Wait, do you have to actually do 200 floors?
Yeah.
I never got that far, but yeah, there are.
It does happen.
And it's not even like the pit of the trials in.
It's just part of the game,
You know what I'm talking
right?
about? Yeah.
Pit of 100 trials in Paper
Yes,
Mario.
thank you.
Yeah.
I like doing that, actually.
Yeah, that's optional too.
Okay. Imagine it's Silph from Pokemon Red and Blue, but like it's 10 times the size. That's yeah. And with Persona's, infamous encounter rate. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. The second half is essentially a glorified replay button. Did you ask for deja vu missions? No, too bad. In defense of Hideo Kojima this time, they kind of forced him to stop. Hold on one second, guys. Yes?
I'm going to the hospital. Grandma's sugar's really low.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you know.
All right, okay. Damn. All right, so my grandmother's been taken to the hospital because her blood sugar's low.
Oh goodness.
Great.
Yeah, hopefully that, turns out to be not that big of a deal. They'll probably give her an IV or something. I'll let you guys know what happens. I just found out about that just now. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
Trying to snap back into it. Metal Gear Solid 5. Yeah, he was pretty much told finish the game now. Like he didn't really have the time or budget to make that a full experience.
Oh, he was forced into a rush job.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. Then just a catch-all for difficult NES games. Endless retries in games designed to be hard just to pad playtime. Trial and error might be fun for some, but for others, it's a time sinkhole.
So the entirety of
Well, okay. So
make my brain hurt.
Well, you could tell somebody's young. So the reason that it was like that was because they were, a lot of these games are originally arcade games.
Yeah.
That were meant for you to have to put money into, So just the fact that you would...
Why?
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. Beautiful, epic, and unnecessarily long. Extended filler sections feel more like fluff than substance.
Just play the original.
Yeah.
It's there.
Then he'd probably complain about random battles or something. Yeah. Dragon Quest 2 and 3. Oh, wait a minute. Is Totally Tubular Dave?
Totally Tubular Dave. No, I don't think Dave has a piss cup.
He might. Are classic RPGs beloved for their charm but notorious for excessive random encounters, labyrinthine dungeons, and mandatory grinding that stretch playtime unnecessarily.
I dare this man to play Ghost Lion. The encounter rate in that game is so infuriating and gives you nothing in return. I hate that game.
Do you know what I think had like the biggest encounter rate in a game that I actually like, though, was Pokemon Black and White.
Yes, Jesus Christ.
Like sometimes I run into like a lot of enemies and I'll be like, oh, it's Pokemon Black now, you know. But I like Pokemon Black, so yeah. And finally, Animal Crossing: New Horizons, a game literally designed to waste your time, but at least it's adorable.
That's the whole point.
I mean, yeah, but that's what he's saying. Yeah, like the whole point of Animal Crossing, there is no like goal to it other than, I don't know, you pay off your mortgage or whatever, you know, and then you just kind of just chill and do whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm not really understanding the point.
Weird list. I don't think I like this list.
No.
Jonathan.
Very untubular of you.
Every once in a while he'll put out like a good list and we'll be like, oh, look at you there.
Like, we get surprised, and then we're like, oh, Jonathan!
Yeah, we're like, oh, look at
tried.
you, TTJ, you know, and then there's shit like this.
Yeah.
TTJ.
Yeah, I'm going to call him
He doesn't deserve that moniker just yet.
I'm going to call him that sometimes. Oh, apparently I skipped a list. I have to go back up to that one. Yeah, there's 11 of these. I'm going to give it like a 3.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm giving him a 2 again. That's how I feel.
1.
Oh, snap.
Straight up giving it a 1.
This one's from Triple Jump.
1 for Piss Cup.
Yeah, one for Piss Cup.
10 times technical limitations made games so much better.
Ooh, that's a good list.
Interesting.
Good list, yeah.
Let's see you, Triple Jump.
Metal Gear. So originally, Kojima's idea was that it was going to be an action game. But because it was on the MSX, and the MSX doesn't really do scrolling all that well, and, you know, other considerations, they made it into a stealth game.
And that's why it's like screen by screen.
Yep. Resident Evil was going to be a first-person shooter.
Wow.
Yeah. But a first-person shooter with those types of graphics at that time on PlayStation and Saturn was not going to fly.
So instead, just lots of weird Dutch angles.
Space Invaders. Now, you've probably heard this before, but the way that the aliens would move all slow at first and then slowly speed up was actually lag going away as you shot more of them. Right? Yeah. So it would have been way too difficult without the lag, and
can you imagine?
Yeah, it would have been crazy. Silent Hill had really bad draw distance, so they came up with some crap about evil fog, and there you go.
Oh yeah, and then N64 kind of took suit with that. Tons of evil fog in those games.
The N64 was already around when Silent Hill was made.
Yeah. Well.
Okami was supposed to have realistic graphics.
Oh,
on the
I'm so glad it didn't.
Yeah, it didn't because they had some performance issues, and so they went cel shaded.
Great idea.
System Shock 2. So basically, they had issues programming friendly NPCs. So that's why there are no friendly NPCs in System Shock 2.
They're all very disgruntled.
Yes. Metroid. The original Metroid. Samus was supposed to crawl, but they couldn't animate it right, so they came up with the whole morph ball thing.
And the morph ball, the Maru Mari was invented.
And so we get the why can't Metroid crawl meme. Followed by jellyfishes helping, yes. Crash Bandicoot was supposed to be more, open. And because they had memory issues, they just kept it on that like sort of corridor thing, and that made it, very memorable.
Of its own accord, yeah.
Yeah. And, wow, we're really going back here. Rogue. Rogue. So, Rogue was procedurally generated because there wasn't enough memory to hold levels.
Rogue, the first roguelike.
Yeah, right. Like, isn't that where they got it from, right?
Yeah, that is exactly where it comes from.
Yes.
Really interesting. I would have probably included Donkey Kong on there, but yeah, 10 out of 10. These were all
Yeah.
really
I
interesting.
think that one was a very good list.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, it's from Triple
Who did
Jump.
that list?
It was
Oh, that's
Triple
why.
Jump. Yeah, it wasn't.
Thank you for a good list.
It wasn't
we will never
totally,
see another Triple Jump list ever again.
No, Bort senses Triple Jump all the time.
Okay, good.
It wasn't totally Assular Jonathan there. Here's one
not
from
particular.
Alice sent me from WatchCulture.com, which is the 10 worst video game ports ever. So these are
boy.
generally good games, but they didn't get very good ports, or they had a port that was pretty bad.
Shit ports.
Shit ports.
Okay.
I think GameSack, they called them piss poor ports.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Number 10 is the PlayStation version of X-Men vs. Street Fighter. So it's essentially a completely different game. It looks the same, in still pictures. It's missing a lot of frames of animation, which for a fighting game is kind of bad. And it doesn't have the tag team thing because of the low RAM of the PlayStation. Even the Saturn version needed a little bit of help from a RAM expander, so...
But at least it could do that.
Yeah. Oh, this is one of those where there's one on each page. Okay, so I have to click next.
That's
Number 9 is the Zeebo port of Resident Evil 4. I think the issue here might have been that it was on the Zeebo.
Zemo. Oof.
I mean, it removed all of the story scenes.
Yeah.
A lot of enemies were just not in the game, and some of the weapons were missing too. It also was heavily censored. So, what was even the point? What was even the point?
Why bother?
Yeah.
Why bother?
Number 8 is Carmageddon 64, which of course was a port of Carmageddon, which was a PC game. Obviously, it was really censored, but also the gameplay was just drastically changed, and the enemy AI was really fucking weird.
Played the demo of Carmageddon on my computer a lot because that was enough for me.
Yeah. The controls in the N64 game were also really, really bad.
Blech.
Okay, number 7 is SimCity 2000 for the Sega Saturn.
Oh.
SimCity 2000 is not the type of game that really should be played on a console, but they did it anyway.
Why not?
Yeah. So anyway, apparently the graphics are really blurry, and that made it hard to tell what you're clicking on. There was a lot of the SimCity is done with with a keyboard or whatever. So they had a big sidebar to make up for that, and that blocked off a lot of the screen, nearly half.
Well, that sounds terrible.
And there was a lot of missing content apparently. Okay, next up at number 6 is The Outer Worlds for the Switch. So,
Outer Worlds?
Yeah. So, the issue here is that when you get these AAA titles that are, for PS5 and Xbox Series X, and then there's a Switch port, and you do kind of expect the Switch version to maybe not look as good. But when it looks like a PS2 game, there's issues.
Oh no.
Yeesh.
Yeah. And apparently it had issues even running that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. A lot of lag, apparently.
Our keyboard sounds, friends.
I actually don't hear anything.
All right. That's nice. Maybe I'm actually typing quiet for once.
Hey.
Number 5 is the 3DO version of Doom. I mean, there are a lot of different Doom ports that could have been on here, but the 3DO version, not great.
Is it the worst?
It's among the worst, I would say. They tried to add these weird FMV scenes with live action actors,
Oh no. That would be kind of funny though.
The person who coded it was Burger Becky. She's pretty famous as a coder, but she only had a couple of weeks really to work on this. It was
Oh my god.
The fact it's sort of like E.T. for Atari, where it was made E.T. was made in 6 weeks. This was made in 10 weeks. So
But man, you can't fault her. I guess she
No,
tried.
no,
Damn.
she did the best that she could under very poor circumstances.
Ugh.
That's such a bummer.
Number 4 is Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop on the Wii.
Ugh.
So the thing about Dead Rising is it having like dozens and dozens of zombies on the screen is kind of its thing.
Yeah.
And you're not, you expect that, like I said, going from Xbox 360 to the Wii, you might expect it to be somewhat compromised, but this is incredibly compromised, especially considering it's the Resident Evil 4 engine.
Oh.
Come on, man.
So there was no reason for it to be quite that bad.
That stinks.
Number 3 is Batman Arkham Knight for Steam. So I have this.
Yeah.
I haven't played it. I've heard that they fixed it, but on launch, this was apparently a big mess. It ran at a really bad frame rate. If you got in the Batmobile, it would run even worse, even on the best of computers at the time. They did delist it for a while, and they did some optimization and stuff like that. People say it's still like kind of the worst version of that game, but it's at least playable now.
Mm.
Okay, well, you've got it, and at least it's mostly fixed.
I'll find out when I fucking get around to playing it. Number 2 is Ark Survival Evolved, specifically the Switch version.
Oh boy!
No, they put
Or
that on
Switch.
Switch.
So
They put everything on.
this was
Switch.
another one where like the initial launch version was really bad and it needed to be like reworked. And apparently, even though they fixed a lot of the major issues, it's still very blurry, and kind of low res. So
More like low rent.
yeah. All right. I wonder. Speaking of like bad Switch ports, I wonder if number 1 is going to be like Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch.
Oh no!
Let's see. No. Oh god, this is even worse. Street Fighter 2 for the ZX Spectrum.
Oh wow!
Second ZX Spectrum mentioned tonight.
Yeah.
Why did they try to put Street Fighter 2 on this thing?
I feel like that's a poor decision.
Yeah. I wouldn't even
Obviously,
think
if it's number 1 on the list
Yeah.
of worst
I
video
wouldn't
game
even-
ports ever.
I wouldn't even assume that Street Fighter 1 would work
I mean,
on this system. This is crazy. But yeah, let's see. So apparently it's slow, it's imprecise, it's a joyless experience. It looks like a Virtual Boy game.
Ow.
There's no music. So
there's probably
yeah.
hardly any sound effects, if any at all.
Oof.
Yeah, yeah. Just from the screenshot, you could tell like it's like not even as good as like the Game Boy Street Fighter 2. It's pretty bad. So there you have it. That's 10 worst video game ports ever from whatculture.com. Yeah, I'll give this a 9.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. I will agree with a 9.
Yeah, I'm feeling a 9 on that one.
So
I'm
here's,
surprised they didn't have like Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis for the GBA.
That's not a port.
It wasn't?
No, that was actually a from the ground up remake, and that's why it was so bad.
Oh, that's even worse.
Because you could figure they probably could have emulated that, and it probably would have ran pretty good.
Yeah, you probably could get an emulator for GBA and run it.
Yeah, but they didn't. Here's one from a YouTuber by the name of Rocket Sloth, submitted by board game developers that lied to players. What, all of them?
Oh.
Take your pick.
All of them?
Even the good ones.
Even the good ones, especially the good ones.
Especially.
Okay, so starting with, well, this is more of a console thing, but the Xbox 360's Red Ring of Death. Microsoft downplayed the widespread hardware failures, initially claiming the issue was minimal before later admitting its severity and extending warranties.
Not a bug, it's a feature.
It's
Well,
supposed to completely brick out constantly.
yeah.
What are you talking about?
I actually know what caused this. It had to do with the motherboard getting too hot. And what would happen was that the connectors would slightly melt.
Oh, no.
And then
Ooh.
it would cool off. And, they'd harden again. And that it would basically, over time, weaken the metal to a point where it would sort of detach certain components.
Oh no.
So that's what was going on. Speaking of which, the Xbox 360's disc scratching problem. Investigation showed that some Xbox 360 models could scratch game discs even without movement, but Microsoft denied it, blaming users instead.
Wow.
I
Wait,
hadn't
how do they
heard
scratch
of this
without
one.
movement?
I know that if you tilted it while it was running, you would get the circle scratch.
Oh, dear.
Which was pretty bad. But they're talking about without tilting it that it would happen.
Yeah.
So, I had never heard of this, to be honest. The abandonment of Titanfall 2, Respawn Entertainment insisted the game was not abandoned, but only had 1 or 2 people working on it, contradicting their own statements.
Ooh.
That's pretty much abandoned. They're like, no, we're technically, here's one from Crash Team Racing's microtransaction scandal.
That
Yep.
one.
Activision launched the game without microtransactions to gain positive reviews and then added them in a month later, breaking their promise.
How dare you?
Dick move.
Absolutely dick move.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I like to remind people that Activision was started by people who were tired of being treated poorly by Atari.
Yeah, it wasn't the first
then-
third-party company.
Yep. And how far they've fallen, huh?
Yeah.
The Mass Effect 3 ending controversy. BioWare promised that choices across the trilogy would significantly shape the ending, but players discovered the 3 available endings were nearly identical.
Nearly.
Yeah.
It was, like, subtly different.
Yeah, there weren't. There was like one ending with 3 variations.
Eh.
Payday 2's microtransaction U-turn. Developers publicly shamed fans for thinking the game would include microtransactions only to introduce them later.
Wow.
Like, how dare you think we would do that? And then they fucking did it.
We're doing it anyway.
Yeah. Warcraft 3 reforged cutscene deception. Blizzard showcased a beautifully remade cinematic to promote the game, but only remastered that one scene while leaving others untouched.
Wow.
Deception.
That's so
Dude.
Blizz.
That's crazy, man. That's like that meme where you see like the pepperoni pizza that only shows like the one slice, and then they open it up and there's like no pepperoni on the whole rest of the pizza.
Oh, no.
Genshin Impact on the Switch. Developers announced a Switch version coming soon, but after years it never materialized, and its mention was quietly removed from official sources. I wouldn't say that they lied. They probably were working on it at one point and then canceled it for some reason. I don't know why they
would.
would.
Not so much a lie as it is just an omission.
I don't know why they would cancel it. It's a popular game, and the Switch is like the most popular console. I'm sure that they can make it work, considering it's a fucking mobile game.
Maybe it'll be on Switch 2.
Yeah, you never know. Resident Evil 4's fake exclusivity. The director claimed the game would be a GameCube exclusive and even said he'd cut off his own head if it came to PlayStation 2, yet it did.
Well,
you know what?
I'm still waiting for that decapitation, buddy.
That's not well, he said he would commit harikari is what he said.
Well,
and
okay.
It also wasn't really up to him.
That's true.
So
he
I
could
don't
have used
know.
the chainsaw controller.
I don't know why he said something so dumb because it wasn't his decision to make. And now it's Resident Evil 4 is like on everything, so you could even get it on the Zebo. You shouldn't.
Oh man, they're the R zone.
Oh well, no, that's not a real thing though. Valorant's abilities lie. Riot Games claimed the game's abilities wouldn't kill enemies, yet several characters launched lethal attacks through special abilities. I'm not what?
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't think I know enough about the game to know why that's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Cyberpunk 2077 broken promises. CD Projekt Red showcased numerous features pre-launch, many of which never made it into the final game, like wall running and interactive ads. Okay, I don't want to defend this game because fuck it, but sometimes that happens where they have to cut something out of a game for whatever reason, and it's already been advertised.
I mean, it did look cool. Never played it, but...
So here's the funniest part. We all know that when that game came out, it was a broken piece of mess.
Yeah.
Except on one version, and that was the Google Stadia version, which is the version that my husband played it on.
Weird. Oh my god.
I don't know how. I think he got like the Stadia shit for free and pre-ordered it there because
That's what happened
with.
with Alice, was sent to Stadia for free.
Yeah,
Hey, okay.
and then I think he got like reimbursed for it when they canceled Stadia.
Yeah.
It was, but yeah. So everybody else,
Yeah.
when it was out on was it PS4? It launched on
Yeah, and Steam and
Steam,
Yeah.
and it was just like buggy and broken to all get out.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, okay, there were a couple of hiccups, but otherwise it played fine.
PS4, I think, being hit the worst
Yeah.
of all of them.
Destiny 1's open world illusion. Bungie misled players into thinking Destiny was fully open world when in reality it had many loading screens and restricted zones.
So, open in ideas only.
I think that this is taking liberties with the definition of open world because many open world games have loading screens. Skyrim has fucking loading screens.
This is true. Very much does.
It's as open as you get.
Yeah. Xbox Series X no load times myth. Microsoft implied the console would eliminate load times, yet many games still have them.
The word implied was used, though.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can kind of skirt around that, though, you know?
You know what it is that any game on a disc is going to have loading.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. The Halo franchise mismanagement. 343 Studios repeatedly misled players about features, game performance, and future content across multiple Halo releases. This feels very non-specific to me.
It's very general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
This is
what
literally what you said. I just used a different word, but
Yeah.
like I get it.
Yeah. And finally, Maple Story's deceptive manipulation involves the developer receiving a hefty fine of $9 million for allegedly altering the odds of in-game items obtained through purchases without informing players, including instances where the odds were allegedly dropped by 0 to 0.
Yeah.
What?
Maple Story was crazy.
You and me both, Jesse, used to know somebody that was heavily into Maple Story.
Into it, yes.
Yeah, I remember the man with the fake name. He once told me that the amount of money that he spent on Maple Story, and it was more than 10 bands.
Yes.
Which is
Ooh.
fucking crazy to spend that amount of money on what's essentially a mobile game.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
jazzy mobile game.
Yeah. This was interesting. I don't agree with everything on here, but at the same time, it was very interesting. I don't know how many of these there are. I'm not going to sit there counting them. I'm just going to give it an A-.
I'm gonna give it an even B. Buzz, bitch.
I'm gonna give it an even A because it was an
Dickles the
interesting
bee.
list.
Okay.
Dickles the bee.
Dickles.
Dickles.
Oh, Dickles. I have another list from Triple Jump from board here.
Okay.
The 10 worst video game pre-order bonuses.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, let's see if the one that I'm thinking of is on here. Okay, the first one is Codename Steam. U.S. pre-orders received a Majora's Mask 3D pin badge unrelated to the game, seemingly to just get rid of excess stock.
Wow.
Wait, so imagine you pre-order a game and you get this pin related to this much older game that has nothing to do with it?
Wow.
I mean, it would be cool, but I'd be like,
It's
did
confusing.
I get the wrong package?
That is very confusing. Like, we have these pins. Let's just unload them. Remember Me. Pre-order bonuses included exclusive melee attacks, effectively locking some content behind paywalls.
Sucks. I hate that shit.
That's stupid.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like pre-order bonuses that are game content. You know what I mean?
No,
Unless it's like a piece of DLC that you're getting for free. That's the only.
Yeah, that's cool.
Except like Mortal Kombat did it, for example. Like if you pre-ordered Mortal Kombat X, you got Jason Voorhees for free.
But later on, you could still, if you wanted to.
You could buy him. Yeah, but like imagine if they said, if you pre-order the game, Scorpion has an extra move.
That's not fair.
It's stupid. No Man's Sky. Pre-order ship had a hyperdrive, breaking the tutorial and limiting upgrades, forcing a later patch.
Oh my god, that poor game. I feel
Yeah.
really bad
You gotta-
for No Man's
yeah.
Sky at this point.
Yeah, I just want you to go back in time. Don't pre-order it. Don't buy it. It's
Just wait.
Just give it like a year and it'll be dope. You know what I mean?
So, right around the time that came out, I had been dragged onto a podcast to be like the woman that had reasonable voices about things,
Okay.
and the one co-host was so fucking hyped for this game every time. It was a gaming podcast.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited for No Man's Sky. I'm so excited for No Man's Sky. I'm so excited." Like, we would constantly be talking about it, and me and the other guy were less like, "All right, man, let's
I
do
mean,
it."
I mean, you
And
know,
then the game came out. Crickets.
oh,
Fucking
wow.
crickets.
But that was a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people really excited
know.
about this game.
Well, the people making it promised you the universe. God damn.
You know, and they eventually did deliver.
Yeah,
That's the
eventually.
crazy thing. No, but that's wild because it has to be the most improved game ever released. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Like, I mean, to put it into another, like, imagine if Street Fighter 1 came out. You know, that game was not very good, right?
No.
And imagine instead of, you know, like waiting a few years and then making Street Fighter 2, they just kept revising it until it was as good as, like, a later game, you know? That's kind of a wild idea. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Some players got a figure, but others got useless in-game berries that were easily obtainable.
Berries. Woo!
Dude, can you imagine that? They're like, pre-order now and get 5 citrus berries.
Well, so if I'm remembering this correctly, I don't believe there were any North American pre-orders that got a physical pre-order bonus.
Oh.
Those were I believe those were only European,
No,
possibly
damn.
Japanese.
That's crazy.
Because I didn't pre-order that game. No, I don't think I did. But still, it was like you got a card
Berries.
you got a card and it's like, "Oh, here, if you use this code, you get 200 Pokeballs," or some shit like that.
Well, it was berries. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's pretty bad, you know.
Yeah. I think at least the Pokeballs are useful, right?
Yeah.
Berries.
Limited use there, and you could totally
Yeah.
plant your own berries anyway. So really easy to get berries in Pokemon.
That pre-order is Pokeballs.
It really is. Sonic the Lost World pre-orders gave 25 extra lives, making the game
Great.
seem that's so stupid. Making the game
Great.
seem too difficult or too easy, frustrating both casual and hardcore fans.
Everybody loses.
Wow, that's terrible.
That's pretty dumb. That's pretty dumb. Fallout New Vegas, a pre-order pistol became unusable if modified, displaying a giant error symbol instead. That's hilarious.
This is in the game or
Yeah.
physical?
No, in the
So I'm
game.
like, that's a pretty metal
no.
fucking pre-order bonus.
In the game.
Okay.
If you modified the pre-order pistol, it would just be a big error message graphic.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
That'd
Zero.
be neat if it still worked. You're shooting an error message.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if it worked or not. I've never heard of this next game, Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma. Pre-order bonus. Bonus watch arrived late, was poor quality, and was mistakenly listed at $500, causing tax issues.
oh no, what?
Wow.
So everything was wrong, in other words.
That's one of those Spike Chunsoft games.
Yeah. Man, Chunsoft has got to be the most fallen developer ever. Like,
Yeah.
You know, all the famous guys left, and now they're making weird shit.
I mean, weird can be good, but
No, well, I said weird shit. Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which I don't play these games, but from the people that I know who do, they don't really like this one all that much. Overcomplicated tiered pre-order system led to backlash, forcing Square Enix to give all bonuses to everyone.
hey, well,
I guess everything turned out better than expected.
better than expected.
And finally, Fallout 76 pre-ordered collector's edition promised a high-quality
That fucking
canvas
bag.
bag that delivered a cheap nylon one, later corrected after backlash.
Boo!
Yeah.
Hit. Give
No,
me my bag.
To correct you, Moogle, Kemco did not make Elvastia Chronicles, nor did they make any of those other shitty RPGs. They just published them. It's a company called EXE Creates that makes those games. The one that I was thinking on wasn't on here. I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of the Call of Duty games where like there was like this super deluxe edition that you could pre-order that came with a flask, you know, like a whiskey flask, but you couldn't drink out of it.
Why was it lined with lead or something?
No, it
probably
didn't.
decorative.
It didn't have like an inside. It was solid.
It wasn't hollow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
Wow.
and then they didn't understand why people weren't into it. They're like, you know, people are like, hey, you know, what the fuck? And they're like, well, you never said it was functional. All right, we'll see you around, Max. All right, so yeah, out of 10, 10. These are all pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Agreed. A full 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good one.
Here's one that Moogle submitted. And it's from thegamer.com. The absolute worst dungeons in Final Fantasy games.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's see. So at number 15 from Final Fantasy VIII, the D District Prison. Okay, so I recorded a Let's Play of Final Fantasy VIII recently, which isn't up yet, but I wasn't the one playing the game. EB was playing the game, and I was just doing commentary.
Oh, that's nice.
And I remember watching this part, and I didn't think it was particularly better or worse than any of the other dungeons. I think this game just doesn't have good dungeons.
So it's just pick any dungeon from 8.
Pretty much, yeah.
Ugh. Yeah.
Number 14 from Final Fantasy VII, The Temple of the Ancients. This one was weird because it's like a weird perspective.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get lost, and I think there's like a time limit of some sort. So it's not a fun part.
Okay.
Yeah, I eventually ended up using, I think, like some kind of map just so I could nab everything I needed.
It's not all that complicated. It's just easy to get lost because the perspective changes.
Yeah.
Number 13 from Final Fantasy 13. I see what you did there. Tajin's Tower. I don't know. I think people were just sort of thrown by this because the game is very linear, and then it gets to a point where it opens up, and Tajin's Tower can be a little overwhelming.
Because they're so used to the linearity by that point?
Yeah, because basically you don't get to the overworld until much later in the game. So it's like Final Fantasy VII if the first 2 discs were Midgar.
Ay, ay, ay.
You know what I mean? So, I can understand being, like, imagine coming out of Midgar and then being thrown into, like, you know, like, the Great Meteor or something like that, you know? Number 12 from Final Fantasy X, all Cloister of Trials, but mostly Bevel. Okay.
I just didn't like them. I don't like the Cloister of Trials.
Yeah, no, they're not fun.
No.
I agree. Number 11 from the original Final Fantasy, the Chaos Shrine. I mean, this is really a skill check more than anything.
Skill issue.
Yeah, it's. I think the issue that I have with it is that it is a dungeon that gets significantly easier in the second half, which is weird. It kind of just kicks your ass right away, but once you get to a certain point, it backs off heavily. So.
I don't know. Just felt ass kicky all the way down for me.
Number 10 from Final Fantasy III, any dungeon that forces you to be mini.
Yeah. I like 3.
That happened. I've never seen 3.
I like 3, but I don't like the mini.
But yeah, basically, well, I mean, you just have to force yourself to use magic classes for those parts.
Pretty much.
That's all it comes down to. Number 9 from Final Fantasy IX is Oilivert. I hope I'm saying it right. There's never been a version of this game with voice acting.
No.
So you can't use magic, and that's kind of a bummer. You know.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Number 8 from the original Final Fantasy, The Cavern of Earth. This is, I don't know. I wouldn't included this one. This is sort of weird. They're mostly bitching about the Hall of Giants.
Oh, well,
Mm.
you just gotta prepare correctly. I don't know. This one didn't bother
but
me
you
that
don't
much.
have to. It's optional. The Hall of Giants. So.
Yeah.
But I can kind of jack with it because I'll tell you. I remember when the first time I was playing through it with my friend Frank, because it was like we rented it and then like he bought it and we were like both sort of playing on it, right? And we got to this part and we're going through this thing where every step is an encounter and these giants are pretty tough enemies. And I remember at one point he said this better lead to something good. Which you're laughing if you've played this game because it just loops around and brings you back. It's just literally here's a place you can grind in, you know. Pixel Remaster actually removed the Hall of Giants. I mean, it's still there, but instead of getting an encounter every step, there's just like a giant wandering around that you could endlessly fight if you want to. So, yeah.
Which was a good idea.
Yeah. From number 7 from Final Fantasy 12 is the Great Crystal. I don't know. I mean, it was complicated, but
Maybe that's just it.
there's some parts with time trials. I don't know. I don't think it was that bad. From number 6 from Final Fantasy X-2 is Via Infinito. Well, yeah, any place that makes you deal, like forces you to deal with tonberries can fuck off.
Yeah.
Number 5 from Final.
So you just have to dress as a Tonberry.
Oh, this one is no. They're wrong for this one.
Sorry, which one?
I didn't say it yet, so you didn't miss anything. I'm just reacting to it. If Kefka's Tower from 6.
No, that one's dope.
It's kind of like
I can think of many different, or at least one other one.
This is kind of the greatest Final Fantasy dungeon. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yes, what? It's hard. Is that what you're complaining? Let me read this. What are they complaining about this? They're saying that if you're only used to using certain characters, it could be kind of a pain in the ass because you're kind of forced to use the whole party. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's an ensemble cast, and you could just put one overpowered character in each of the 3 groups, and you're probably good to go. Gao can carry 3 other assholes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or just be on his own.
Number 4 from Final Fantasy 15, The Belouvre Mines. Once again, I haven't played 15 yet.
I don't know.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3 from Final Fantasy 2, the final dungeon, Pandemonium.
I just didn't like 2.
How much of a good time you have with Pandemonium really comes down to how well you played Final Fantasy 2.
I didn't play it very well.
Yeah. So if you had a bad time with Final Fantasy 2's final dungeon, it's because you didn't have a good time with Final Fantasy 2.
Mm-hmm.
And admittedly, the original Famicom version of this game sucked shit through a straw. It got better with each remake. The Pixel Remaster is really fucking good. I will say one thing is that it has the coolest fucking final boss theme. Not final boss, final dungeon theme ever. Especially on Pixel Remastered, they did not have to go that hard with the Pandemonium song.
Nice.
Yeah, the Pandemonium is a pretty dope theme, like the remix. Yeah.
I knew this was going to be number 1. Okay, so this is number 2. I'm sorry, so I was wrong. But as soon as I saw that one of these, the what do you call it? I'm scrolling back up. Oilbert, whatever the hell you say it, from Final Fantasy IX. I knew that one of these would be, and it's number 2 from Final Fantasy IV, the Lodestone Cavern. Better de-equip all your metal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want to have a bad time.
It's a pain in the ass.
Oh, wow.
I mean, if you know it going in, you can prepare for it. You know what you're doing. But if you're just playing the game normally, the game does kind of tell you, hey, you might want to de-equip all your armor for this part. And you might be like, no, I got this. And then you find out, no, you do not, in fact, got this.
You've got nothing.
Number 1 is from Final Fantasy V, Karnak Castle. I mean, it's got a time limit, so I guess I get that. But
Oh.
Is
Yeah.
that where the one where you have to escape?
yeah,
at
you're,
the
you're
end?
yeah you're escaping.
Okay.
You have 10
Yeah,
minutes to
no.
get out, and you can't really run from most of the battles. But
No.
at this point, you should be strong enough to just plow through everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Final Fantasy V has this reputation of being incredibly hard that I don't quite understand. Like, I don't get why people call this one the hardest one.
Maybe because the whole job system maybe is confusing to them.
Maybe, I don't know. I had played Dragon Quest 3, and, and that one sends you back to level 1 every time you change job, so...
Ugh.
But it's worth it, though, Like, I was talking about it, because I'm playing the new remake, the HD one, and loving it, by the way. And I had somebody come in who was playing the game, and she was asking me a few questions, because I'd played several different versions of Dragon Quest 3. And I said, do you want a second sage? And she's like, of course I want a second sage. I said, this is what you do. Take the party member you want to be a sage, turn them into a gadabout. Get that gadabout to level 20. You know where the metal slimes are. She disappears from the stream for like 40 minutes and then comes back. I have 2 sages.
Okay.
It didn't take that long, is my point, to get a gadabout from level 1 to level 20.
Oh, so
Yeah.
going back to level 1 isn't detrimental.
Yeah, you keep all your skills and you keep half your stats, so the more you do that, the better off it is. I agree with some of these, but then again, like, what anybody's going to consider the worst dungeon is always going to be based on what particularly annoys you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very,
Subjective.
it's
Yeah.
very subjective. How many were there? 15?
Yeah.
10? 10 out of 15 is where I'm at.
I'm 9 out of 15.
I think I'm also a 9 out of 15.
All right, cool. Also submitted by
Mostly
Moogle.
because I haven't played a lot of those.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm a little behind.
Also submitted by Moogle from ScreenRant.com is 10 hilariously horrendous video game soundtracks.
Oh dear.
Whole soundtrack. Okay.
All right. So the first one is Yoshi's Island DS, which, yeah, you wouldn't think that this would have bad music considering the original Yoshi's Island had really good music, but
Yes.
yeah, no, I have this game and it doesn't sound good at all.
No.
Is it like the sound quality that's bad?
They're just not well-made songs.
Ooh.
Oh, well, crap.
Yeah, they're very like simplistic, cutesy sort of, like, I don't know. It's night and day compared to the original Yoshi's Island in terms of the soundtrack. The gameplay's fine.
Okay.
All right, now I gotta be honest. This next one is the first thing I thought of when I thought of a bad music in a video game. But this is barely a video game, so I don't know if we should really be counting Crazy Bus, which has
Lord.
that title screen thing. It was like, and then you get into the actual game, and there's no fucking music whatsoever.
Just the hum of
Is
the
that
bus.
one like the bad song to have sex to from that one Reddit post?
No, it's more like I took salvia and I'm regretting it.
Oh, okay.
It's like that.
Like
No.
cat walking across a synthesizer, you know.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just atonal as fuck.
Wow.
But this isn't really a game. It's just like some fucking weird tech demo that some guy in Venezuela made and for some reason put it on a Sega Genesis cart. Street Fighter 4 is on this list? Excuse me, what?
Is it that bad?
It's not bad at all.
Yeah, like I only ever had the 3DS version, but I liked it well enough.
What's their justification?
I'm reading it now. Oh, they're complaining about the song Invincible.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, Indivisible is what it was called. That, like, the main theme from Street Fighter 4, that it's like a cheesy anthem.
Loved
Yeah,
I
that's
like
why
that.
we like it. It's like having Eye of the Tiger in a Street Fighter game.
it.
It's very similar to Eye of the Tiger, I'm just saying. No, you know what? I just remember the name. It's Indestructible because it started in my head. Indestructible. No, I can't agree with that. Oh, this is a weird one because the next one is The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, which is ear piercing, but the screenshot is from like a completely different game.
What?
The screenshot looks like a 16-bit era like Mr. Peabody game, you know?
Huh.
That's not Rocky and Bullwinkle on the NES, but Rocky and Bullwinkle on the NES does sound like you're being assaulted with a dog whistle.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, just three octaves up from that.
Oh, jeez.
Sonic Arcade. That can't be the name of this game.
Is it?
It's the racing game that they're talking about. That's not what it's called.
Sonic
right?
R?
No. It's like that Sonic All Stars racing game, but it's the arcade version.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Apparently, just a lot of like really heavy techno with really weird voice samples.
Some people like that though.
Yeah. Says it sounds like an earthquake. Extreme Paint Brawl is a game that exists.
Yeah.
We are occasionally reminded of its existence. It says that the soundtrack is incomplete.
Oh, no.
It says, imagine a baby playing with an electric keyboard and pounding all the keys at once, and it would still only approximate half of the risibly awful soundtrack.
Oh, no.
I have heard that. Here's a good one. Resident Evil Director's Cut.
Oh.
So
What happened with the music there?
for some reason, they released a version of Resident Evil 1, still for the PlayStation 1. I understand that they wanted to release it with DualShock support. But for some reason, they changed the music.
Oh, no.
And it's
Completely?
like, yeah. And it's like, you ever play Bram Stoker's Dracula on the NES?
The NES version? I don't
Yes.
think so.
No? Okay. All right. How do I describe this then? It's sort of like an avant-garde puking
Oh. Oh, no.
thing, you know? It's just this... You know what? This is the one that I would say is the most like the Reddit sex song.
Ah, okay.
Seabat.
Yeah,
Wait.
I see that.
Moogle says they made one called Extreme Water Sports. Oh no.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Hong Kong 97 is on this list for some reason. I mean, the only music in the game is a real song called I Love Beijing Tiananmen, but it's a 5-second loop of it.
I was gonna say it's like a couple seconds.
It's just it's 5 seconds of this song that goes on and on and on and never changes and never stops.
Well, that would drive
Yeah.
me crazy.
That's
So
about
valid.
that's about as long as you could play this game without wanting to turn it off, though. So, Final Fantasy 13-2 is on this list. I can't agree with this. I know that a lot of people didn't quite like how many of the songs had lyrics, but that didn't bother me.
Yeah.
No, that kind of thing doesn't bother me. Lyrics or not, whatever.
It's jarring to be running around an overworld and hear somebody singing. But you get used to it real fucking fast. And considering that it's done more and more, this was kind of a trailblazer in that sense. I mean, look at Xenoblade Chronicles Cross, which I guess Nintendo is now officially changing it to X, because I saw the overview trailer for the remake and the lady said X.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure, why
Awesome
not?
stuff.
The Adventures of Rad Gravity. Man, I don't even remember this game that well.
I think it's on NES.
I know it's on the NES. I just don't remember what the music sounds like.
It's the best. Yeah, the best I can give you is, hey, it's on NES.
Yeah. It says it sounds like a frenzied final boss battle meets an Adult Swim cartoon.
Well, is
Well,
that
that's
really
very evocative of a description.
Yeah.
I guess. It doesn't make it sound that bad. I mean, I can think of way worse than that. But considering these other 10 were all pretty,
Craptacular.
yeah.
Hmm.
I
will
would
give
say,
that
I will
an
get,
8.
yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.
I don't know. I'll give it a 7.
7, 8, 9. 25, 26, 27. All right. Alice sent me something from Mental Floss. These are always fun. The 10 biggest concerts in history.
Ooh, big in what way?
How many people were there?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah. How many
could have
people
been the
were there?
loudest or
No, it's by attendance.
longest. Okay, attendance. All right.
Okay, so I'm going to say the artist and the venue, and you guys try to guess how many people attended this concert, okay? So first up, we have Jean-Michel Jarre at the Moscow State University in 1997. I don't know who this is, but it's Russia.
He did a lot of like synthy kind of stuff.
It's Russia.
No idea.
Take a wild guess.
I don't even know how big are we going here.
Yeah, like I don't know what my baseline needs to be for this.
200,000.
750,000?
Okay, so I'm going to give you a good base. Okay, they sold 500,000 tickets, but that's not the end of the story. A lot of people just kind of showed up.
Oh.
Like Woodstock.
Dude.
So
Didn't know this guy had pull.
Yeah, 3.5 million people pull.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so here's another one. Jorge Ben-Yor at the Copacabana Beach in 1993. You could fit a lot
If number one was 3.5 million.
If that's where we're starting, damn.
Okay, no, we're going down actually.
Oh,
That was number one, so it was the most.
Oh, that was number one.
That was number one.
Oh,
actually, I'm sorry. That was actually number two.
Oh.
I didn't see number one because it had like an error message over it. Number one, well, it's also it's also 3.5 million, but it's Rod Stewart at Copacabana Beach in 1994. 3.5 million people were there.
Wow.
Although some sources say it might have been as high as 4.2 million people.
Well,
that's insane.
Inflating them numbers.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just a Rod Stewart show. There was also like a fireworks thing, and that inflated the numbers by a bit. So, but anyway, so back to this next one. So Jorge Ben-Yor, that was 3 million people were there.
3 million people.
Wow.
Okay. The Monsters of
know
Rock.
Who he is.
I don't know who. He's a Brazilian rock guy. I don't know.
Nice. Good for him.
Monsters of Rock at the Tushino Airfield in 1991.
Okay, on this one, I'll say a cool mil. 1 mil.
$1 million.
Yeah.
1.5 mil?
You're closer. It was 1.6 million.
Hey!
Yeah.
You were close.
And this was a heavy metal festival in Russia. It was going to have a lot of people. Okay.
Yeah.
Madonna at the Copacabana Beach in 2024. This was pretty recent.
All right, so Copacabana Beach, we have on record as holding a lot of people.
A lot of fucking people. Yeah.
A lot of people can hang out there.
Yeah.
All right, so this is last year?
Yep. Last year. Her celebration tour. This was the last show.
Okay. I'll for this one, I'll say an even million.
Yeah, I'm with Jesse on that one.
It was 1.6 million.
Wow.
Yep. Again. Live 8 at the Philadelphia Museum of Art in 2005.
I've heard of Live 8.
Oh, that was...
I watched this from home.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember this happening.
Yeah.
But how many human bodies were there?
It looked like a lot on the TV, that's for sure.
Well, yeah.
They look like ants.
They are ants.
Well,
do we think we're less than a mil yet, or are any of these going to be less than a mil?
Yeah,
at
that's
the rate we're going.
None of them are less than $1 million.
Oh, okay.
1.32.
We're at 1.5.
Oh.
The Rolling Stones on Copacabana Beach. If you want to get a lot of people to show up, just play a show there.
Go to Brazil, yeah. Jeez.
On the Copa.
Well, see, have you ever watched like any YouTube video of any musician ever, and you look at the comment section, and there's always somebody saying "Come to Brazil" with like 500 likes.
Like maybe you should go to Brazil.
Well, I found out why so many rock acts don't go to Brazil is because the record sales are really bad there. And the reason is because of the import taxes and such. Like a CD would cost you like $50, so people just download it off the internet. So they're thinking, we don't have any fans in Brazil.
Oh, annoying.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well,
Are we guessing?
it's 1.5 again.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Okay. Paz Sin Fronteras, also known as Peace Without Borders, in the Plaza de la Revolucion in 2009.
1.45 million. I don't know if we've hit 1.4 yet.
Yeah, right. How much lower are we going? Like, maybe this is 1.25. Maybe I'll drop it.
You're a
lower.
little closer. This one's quite a big drop from the other. It's 1.1 million.
Well, I guess I just suck then, don't I?
And the last two are the same amount. So.
Okay.
So it's the Beach Boys at the Philadelphia Museum of Art in 1985. Right. And
well, that's why Alice found the list.
Yep, and exactly. And the Black Eyed Peas on Ipanema Beach in 2006. I can't imagine over 1 million people wanting to see the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Even when they were at like peak Fergalicious.
But this is 2006.
Yeah, so I feel like that's peak Fergalicious.
Is it though?
It's a little
That's
after.
like right around then. That's when they were like relevant.
Really?
Yeah. That's like right around when they like became a big thing, I thought.
I choose not to remember.
Let's Get It Started was 2003.
Was it really?
Yeah, I just looked it up.
No.
Let's Get It Started.
That was I mean, Fergalicious was 2006, but Let's Get It Started was their biggest hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that came out when I was still in high school.
There you go.
Lord.
Oh,
all right.
Well, it's a cool even million for both of those.
Wow.
Cool. We hit it.
Wait, where did the Beach Boys play again?
It was the Philadelphia Museum of Art.
Oh, okay. So right
so
on
that's,
the Rocky.
Yeah, so
that's
you could have so the whole
Wouldn't it have made more sense for them to play at the Copacabana?
Maybe they should have.
Oh.
Maybe they should have, but they didn't. Not that we know of.
Yeah.
Or if they did, they drew less than 1 million people.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been like, 70s Beach Boys, All right. The Duke of Nukem, also known as Almighty Santa, sent me a list from Rolling Stone. You know this is going to be...
They've been hit or miss with us.
Contentious.
You know this is going to be fucked up because it's not only is it Rolling Stone, but it's their 50 greatest video games of all time.
Rolling Stone?
Yeah.
With video games? Okay.
I'm just wondering where this is going. It's going to be like the 50 games they've heard of.
Yeah.
This came out last year, so...
They're all Pac-Man.
Yeah. I'm going to read them by tens, and then we'll...
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on one second, guys. One moment. Okay.
I'm actually mutuals on Blue Sky with a guy who's a Rolling Stone writer.
That's funny.
I'm like, all right, Miles, tell me you got some good choices on this one.
Well, let me see. Does it say who wrote this? It just says by Rolling Stone.
Okay.
All right.
That's probably like each individual one is attributed then.
That's his Christian name.
Yeah, so I'll give you 10 at a time. Number 50 is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number 49 is Hades. Okay, so it's not all AAA games. Number 48 is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Number 47 is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Number 46 is League of Legends. Number 45 is Fortnite. Number 44 is Elden Ring. Number 43 is Celeste. Number 42 is Batman Arkham City. And number 41 is Metroid Prime.
Okay. Not terrible choices ultimately.
I'm not hating this so far.
Yeah, no, we got some
I'm
good
not
ones.
upset, no.
You got some really good games. You got some cultural touchstones. You got some indie games even.
Yeah.
It is all over. It is hard to guess how did they order these,
Yeah, probably some kind of scoring system, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, they put Celeste on the list, so let's go.
Yeah, that's great.
Celeste and Hades, I mean, that's kind of crazy. All right, continuing on. Number 40 is Chrono Trigger. Number 39 is God of War, the more recent one. Number 38 is Shadow of the Colossus.
Ooh,
Number 37 is Pokemon Gold and Silver. Number 36 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Okay.
Yes.
Number 35 is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Number 34 is Hollow Knight.
Okay.
Number 33 is NBA 2K11. Number 32 is Ms. Pac-Man. And number 31 is Counter-Strike.
I mean, like, what makes Miss Pac-Man better than 2K11? Like, I don't know how.
I'm going to be honest with you. NBA 2K11 seems really fucking random.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a good game or a bad game. It just seems really fucking random.
I don't know enough about.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a fine basketball game.
I'm shocked at how not shitty this list is so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's good hits on
Yeah.
here.
All
The
right.
only sports game I have any familiarity with is the baseball one, because Mr. Explosion plays that one every year.
I love how
on
you say
Game Pass.
the baseball one. Like there's one baseball game.
There is one baseball game. Well,
There's
the big recurring titles.
There's a
like
shit
MLB
ton.
the Show.
MLB the Show. Okay, I was saying there's a shit ton of fucking. Some of them even have Mario in it.
No, I mean like of the big recurring yearly titles.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
The impression. Sorry.
All right, number 30. Oh, that was number 30. Number 30 is Wii Sports. Number 29
Yeah.
is Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. Number 28 is Minecraft. Number 27 is Resident Evil 4. That keeps coming back to us today. Number 26 is Mass Effect 2. Number 25 is Stardew Valley. Number 24 is The Sims. Number 23 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Number 22 is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And number 21 is Fallout 3.
I wonder if it's just. Is it just one per series, or have we already hit some doubles here?
I don't think
We
we've had.
haven't
doubles
had
yet.
any doubles as of yet, so I don't know. Yeah, but
'Cause if that's the case,
so-
I thought Tony Hawk 2 was like the more popular one, right?
I wouldn't know because I couldn't get into those.
They released 1 and 2 as like a multi-pack. I think 2 just
Yeah.
kind of like builds off of 1
Yeah.
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like this, yeah. So far, this is
This is a pretty solid list.
I'm jagging it so far, man. This ain't bad.
He's just jacking it all over the place.
In San Diego. All right, number 20 is Mario Kart 64. Number 19 is Baldur's Gate 3. Number 18 is Madden NFL 2004.
Ooh,
Once again,
okay.
random, but okay. That particular one. Number 17 is Diablo 2. Number 16 is Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 15 is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Number 14 is Street Fighter 2. Number 13 is Doom, the original Doom. Number 12 is World of Warcraft. And number 11 is Halo.
All right, we're
Yeah.
serious heavy hitters there.
I
but, mean,
I
it
have
makes
no
sense.
complaints. I don't
No.
know.
Yeah,
I'm shocked at this.
I'm still confused by the order, but so far so good.
All right, we're
Yeah.
in the top 10 now, right?
We are in the top 10.
All right, let's
So,
go.
number 10 is Super Metroid. Number 9 is The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Sure.
Number 8 is Final Fantasy VII. Number 7 is Metal Gear Solid.
Hey.
Number 6 is Half-Life 2. It is looking like it's one per series so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 5 is The Last of Us. Number 4 is Super Mario World.
Wow.
Number
World,
3,
okay.
yeah, that's interesting. Number 3 is Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 2 is Tetris. I haven't scrolled down now. Let's try to guess what's number 1 is. I haven't looked at it.
What haven't we
Like-
seen yet?
Have we had a Zelda game on this?
I don't think we have.
I think
Wait,
it's going to be...
do we have Link to the Past?
Oh, that's right.
we did have Link to the
Link to the
Past,
Past
right.
was on this. Okay. What is like? We have a Mario. You know, I mean, we have a Halo, and God, what
We
could
had a
it
Call of
be?
Duty.
It's
No Man's Sky.
Tetris is sitting there at number 2. Doom was on there. What is like the? What are we missing? What is the big thing that we're missing? No, there's no way it's a Mortal Kombat game. Those are good, but not
No,
number one
I don't
of
think
all
that would be
time.
number 1 good.
not. You know, what Mortal Kombat game is the best game of all time according to Rolling Stone?
Yeah, and
Like,
you
I
already
mean-
got a Pokemon game.
Because I was thinking it could have been like Super Mario Brothers, but Super Mario World was on there, and there's nothing else that repeated. You know,
Yeah.
I'm really struggling here to think of what it could be. Huh. Should we just rip the
Let's just
Band-Aid
go.
off?
Rip the Band-Aid.
Well, no. Okay, so it's The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Wow.
So
It got double duty.
apparently they didn't have any kind of rule about not having two from a different series, but Zelda was the only one that had two in the top 50.
Okay.
Having
This is
not played Breath of the Wild, I can't say for sure whether I would say it's the best game of all time.
It's pretty damn good.
I can definitely see why people would
Yeah.
say that, though.
I get it, but it's like, The Legend of Skyrim. I understand.
I'd give it pretty high marks.
Out of 50, this is shocking. I thought this was going to be Dog Water.
No, this is way better than the last one of these we did. What was the last one I remember? Is the
It was
like the album art one?
Oh
and that
god,
was
that was Dog Water.
Ay. Thanks
Yeah.
for reminding me.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Out of 50, I mean, obviously there's some differences of opinion probably.
Of course.
I think-
But good god, I'm going to give it like a 42.
I will go a little higher. I'm going to go with like a 45 because though there are some that I wouldn't have chosen, I feel like the ones that they did choose were all pretty damn good. Even the sports games, like there were only two. There was a Madden and there was a NBA whatever.
No, there was
Sports?
there was no Madden. There was was there Madden?
I
Yes,
thought
there was 2004.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the I mean, it just seems random because like which one do you pick at? They come out every year.
And like I don't play those, so I don't have a baseline as to which are better than others.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, my top 50 would look different,
yeah,
Everybody's would.
but a lot of these games would be on here.
sure.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I'll also give it a 45.
Yeah.
Sounds
I think
about right.
there were some very surprising choices for this mainstream of a publication.
I'm glad a few indie games. I mean, how many did we have? We had Hades.
Celeste.
We had Celeste. We had Hollow
Stardew
Knight
Valley,
and Stardew Valley.
Hollow Knight.
That's 4. Were there any others? I'm scrolling through it again just to see. I think that might have been it.
Still, that's way better than I would have expected.
That's 4 more. Yeah, that's 4 more than I would have expected. Technically, Minecraft is an indie game.
That's true.
So
technically, Tetris is an indie game by Alexei Pajitnov.
No, because the definition of an indie game is something that didn't get published by a major publisher, and that was published by the Soviet government.
Consider them a major publisher.
I did watch.
Whatever. Moving on.
I watched.
Moving on.
I watched the movie.
I did not.
I knew the story better than the people who made the movie, but I understood that they were telling Hank Rogers' story.
All right, let's just move on.
Well, that catches us up, and we're about at that time anyway.
Okay.
So, and I want to call my mom and see how my grandma's doing.
Yes, please.
So, let's end stream first, and I'll do that. I'll keep you guys around because I'm sure you want to know what's going on. But let's go over the schedule real quick, and then we'll do a raid. So tomorrow afternoon, speaking of this game that we were talking about just a little while ago, I'll be playing Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake for Steam.
Oh.
Saturday night, we'll have more of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Switch. I would have liked one of these games to have made it into that list, by the way. No Xenoblade. Sunday night, we have more of Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 for Steam. Monday afternoon, ignore that it says Guilty Gear. We're not playing that. We're going to be playing Tatsunoko vs. Capcom for the Wii. Tuesday night, more of Death's Gambit Afterlife, which is continually dope. Really liking that one. That's on Steam. Wednesday afternoon, speaking of games that have been continuously dope, we have East 10 Nordics, East the Wind Waker for Steam. And then Thursday night, a week from today, is going to be a Tolkien stream. So we'll be live here and on YouTube with the Council of Tolkien. I'll have a different background, and I'll have Sid over here, and I'll have Matt over here, and we'll be talking about different topics relating to J.R.R. Tolkien. But anyway, let's head over to here. And, oh, come on, it's got to work. And see who we have online that we could raid. Let's see who's online. More hobbits, indeed. Let's see who's online. Ara. A lot of people on. What is Zophar doing? Link to the Past? You know what? I just rated this guy the other day, but he seemed pretty chill. I'm gonna rate him again. I'm rating Sleepyhead Dre, who's in the retro category. But he's playing Donkey Kong Country 2, which is a good time.
Nice.
Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. Let's rate him. Let me figure out a raid call. Just gonna put Return of the DK rap. See how he reacts to that. DK, Donkey Kong.
Oh.
DK, Donkey Kong is
Donkey
here.
Kong is here.
Honestly, I thought it was kind of funny. I don't know why people are so angry about it. All right, guys, there's
People
your
are
raid
angry
call.
about it?
Yeah, people are like, oh, it's corny and stupid, and then some people are angry that
Supposed
That's
to
the
be.
point.
they said the word hell in it. You know,
Ugh.
like, oh, it's cursing in a Nintendo game. Like, all right,
Get
hold on.
over
My
it.
mom's calling me. I'm hitting the raid button as soon as I can.
Bye.
Oh, the raid. All right, hold on. Hello. Hi. Okay.